Hello and welcome to the 2025 Australian Shortcourse Championships live on Nine's Wide World of Sports here at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. I'm Matt Welsh, joined by Alex Graham in commentary, and we have got plenty of finals action for you tonight. But let's have a quick recap before we get there to this morning's heat swims. And we started off with the 400 freestyles, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. It was a fantastic way to start the day. We had the men's and women's 400 metre multi-class, and in the women's, we had Emily Pratt and Samantha Pratt, not related, but pushing for the title today. And in the men's, we had James Logan, who dominated this morning, dropping 2 seconds off his time to move through as the fastest qualifier.
Also this morning, we had some backstrokes. The 50 back for the women, Mackenzie Burns burning up the rest of the field to get that fastest lane for tonight's final. And the men's 200 metres backstroke, Matthew Magnuson looked very controlled, just building the race this morning and getting the fastest time of the 1:53 from this morning. Looking forward to both of those events.
Yeah, and Matt, can't go past the men's 100 butterfly tonight. We'll get a look at Matthew Temple, one of the veterans of the field, qualified in a 52, but he also qualified in 4th place. So there's 3 swimmers in front of him tonight. Really interested to see how that plays out. And the women's 200 metre breaststroke, a bit of a shock this morning. We had the top seed, Tara Kinder, DQ'd for a false start, which opens the field right up. So we will see a new national champion tonight in the women's 200 metre breast.
Yeah, that was quite the story this morning with Tara Kinder not making the final for tonight. But also tonight we're looking forward to the 50 freestyles and the 100 individual medley. The 50 free is splash and dash. Lucy Dring, the fastest qualifier in the women. And for the men, Yuchen Ji from the Korean club fastest through, and James Ward, fastest Australian through for the finals. And the always entertaining 100 individual medley. Really looking forward to those races. Going to be tight with the girls. Isabella Boyd, fastest qualifier through, and Felix Dressel-De Bruin for the boys. So as you can see, plenty of action for tonight's final. Let's have a look at a full list of events.
So first cab off the rank, we've got the men's and women's 400 metre multi-class freestyle events, followed by our 400 freestyle time finals. And then we've got the women's 50 metre backstroke and the men's 200 metre backstroke. And then back onto the multi-class races with the women's 100 metre breaststroke, men's 100 metre breaststroke as well, followed by the women's 200 fly, and the men's splash and dash 100 metre butterfly.
And then that big open field, as you said before, Tara Kinder not in that 200 breaststroke. So who is going to set themselves up for the win in that event? The men's 100 breaststroke follows, followed by the men's and women's 200 freestyle multi-class. Then those splash and dash, the 50 free for women and men, followed by the 100 individual medley, 25 of each stroke. That'll be a great one to watch. We finish up with the men's and women's 50 metres backstroke multi-class. And running out the night will be the women's and men's 50 backstroke multi-class, followed by the women's and men's 4x100 free club relay. Always a fun one. Everyone loves getting into the action. So we've got plenty to get through, Alex, tonight, but we're not alone. We're joined in the commentary booth by Tony Schiavecki. Tony, you are here for this morning's action. What are you looking forward to?
Thank you, Matt and Alex. Look, I'm really looking forward to the multiclass swimmers. And Taylor Corey, she's a Paralympian, of course, and swam an amazing race in the women's multiclass 200 free this morning. I think she's going to go very close to breaking a world record here tonight. The conditions are perfect. The wind is just there a little bit to assist in the final 25. I really think we're going to see something special there. G'day everyone and welcome. We've got a massive night coming your way from the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. Melbourne, every bit different, and we've seen some different things happening here today. We've seen the disqualification of a favourite earlier on. The boys spoke about that, and we've seen some amazing swims here as well. Of course, they were all heats this morning. The business end of the program for day one is right here with the finals. And as Matt and Alex rejoin me back in our commentary position, guys, this is going to be a massive night.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to tonight's finals. We're excited about the heats this morning, just getting into some swimming action here at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre, but it is all about this finals night. The swimmers this morning setting their times top 10 into the finals. We've got A finals and B finals in most of the races. We have time finals in the 400s, and I don't know about you, Alex, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what Sam Short is going to swim. He actually hasn't set an official short course 400 free since 2020. He did it in a virtual meet, so it wasn't even a big meet. Definitely PB on the cards, but you'd have to say. But how fast can he go? He's just gone from strength to strength since then.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a fantastic question, Matt. And look, I caught up with Shorty yesterday morning, just saw him around the pool deck and asked how he was going, and he said he'd much rather be here than me doing the training at the moment. So he does love racing. He's a racer. He's about to head over to the World Cup meet, so just another rep in the bank. And I think he's going to go fairly fast. I think we might see a sub 340, but I don't want to go off that commentator's curse either.
No, fair call too. And we could. He swam extremely well this morning. He swam a faster time than our winner last year in Alec Mander, who did a 3:41.29. Shorty this morning in the heat of 3:41.03.
Yeah, so that time set, I believe that was the time that he set in that virtual meet, and we'll see those top 10 racing for that final tonight. The other heat swum this morning, and for plenty more, we said in the opening, the 50 backstroke straight after that, and we had some big action in the backstroke events. But I got to say, I was disappointed to see Tarakinda not make it through. I know we've said it a few times, and I don't want to dwell on it, but it's definitely something that you want to make sure that your big guns are there firing, and gives the younger swimmers something to really aim for. However, it does open the event up for that opportunity. Someone might have got into there thinking, oh, I've got no chance of winning it or no chance of a medal. Now, that chance might have just opened up for them.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a great opportunity for a young swimmer to come in with maybe not as much pressure and just kind of focus on themselves and try and get into their rhythm a little bit. We've got Amelie Smith, 17-year-old from Rocky City in that race, Tilly King, 20-year-old from Bond, Charlotte Hanson in lane 3, 20-year-old from Logan Viking. So they could definitely be a stepping stone meet for any of those swimmers.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go. We've also got a good program of multi-class swimming as well throughout the night, and gee whiz, we saw some great efforts this morning.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the opportunity, don't we? And the opportunity that this meet presents. We are missing a few of the big names in the able-bodied swimming, but even in the multi-class events, as you said, Tony, some really great swims this morning, setting themselves up for some big swims tonight. We had a chat about this morning, if you missed this morning's coverage, we had a chat about the point score, and that will be how the final placings determined for tonight's final. You may hit the wall first, but your time will be compared against the world record. We give the world record mark, basically world best world record mark at that 1,000 points, and then we scale back from there. So you may hit the wall first, but you hit the wall with 700 points, and the person who comes third gets 800 points, and they get that place in front of you. So that'll be really interesting to see. We had a couple of swims above 900 this morning. We had Taylor Corrie in the 200. She looked great.
Yeah.
And also in
Jack Ireland it was.
Jack Ireland in the 200 as well.
He was in 200 as well. So that race is going to be extremely exciting tonight. A little bit biased as well, being a previous 200-metre freestyler. So love the 200-metre freestyle. I'm very excited to see what Jack Ireland has in store for us.
There's our swimmers for the women's 400-metre multi-class freestyle. They are waiting to come out to pool deck, and we're waiting for them as well. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll kick off our action very shortly. And welcome back to our live coverage of the 2025 Short Course Swimming Championships here at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. And Melbourne's a lot of things, but people don't even come here for just one thing. It's a city of individuals, creating unique and enriching individual experiences for all the individuals who visit. And of course, one of the most popular things to go and visit is our network of galleries. They showcase everything from major international exhibitions and collections to established and emerging local artists. The National Gallery of Victoria, or as known as the NGV, Australia's oldest and largest gallery, is home to an enormous collection of works by international and local artists. Walk down almost any street in the city and you'll see all this art bursting off the walls. Let's head down to Matt Walsh. He's down at pool deck, Matt.
I am down on pool deck, and before we get into the finals action, we thought we'd give you a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look at what to expect and what our swimmers are going to be doing in the lead-up to their events. This obviously is the competition pool set up in this short course set, as you can see, 25 metres. The swimmers will actually warm up though inside, so just through over there's a walkway through to the indoor pool. There's two 25-metre pools, so plenty of room for the swimmers to get in, to warm up, to cool down, prepare for their races. But once they do that, what do they do then? Well, they come through, they make sure they have their accreditation, and they come through to this little room in here. So come with me into the marshalling room, and we have the swimmers ready to go. So we've got our swimmers for our first couple of events right here ready to go. And then once they come in, they make sure they're in the right lane and get themselves all psyched up. No trash talking, guys. So, no messing around with everyone. You're all good? Okay, cool. Once they do that, they're going to head down the back pathway there throughout onto pool deck, which, can we go out? Can we go out that way? No, we can't go that way. I'm getting a big no on that one. But we go straight down, and I'll show you where they come out. Come out straight down here, and if you do just pan slightly towards your right, you'll see all the officials frantically getting ready for tonight's events. And they come out right down here. And we can see actually the officials getting ready. That's probably one of the reasons why we can't go in, because that is absolutely chock-a-block with all the technical officials ready to go, waving, looking forward to getting out onto pool deck. And they'll walk straight out here and walk out onto pool deck. So come with me as we come out onto pool deck. We've got some nice heaters here because it's a little bit of a cool night in Melbourne. And we come straight out onto pool deck, and you're presented with your competition pool. And we might pan up to the crowd if the crowd can give us a wave, and they'll be cheering madly for our competitors. So, Tony, that's what to expect from our swimmers tonight before we get into the swimming action. I hope that gave you a little bit of an insight into what to do in preparation for the big event.
Beautiful behind-the-scenes stuff there, Matt. Thank you for that. We'll get back to you again shortly. Alex, we're obviously in a little bit of a delay here. We were meant to start at 6 o'clock. Take us through the mentality of those swimmers now waiting on hold. You train to the minute, don't you? You're ready to go. They would have known all day that at 6 o'clock their event is going to start, and now it's that little bit late. How does that affect you mentally?
Yeah, look, it plays a part in your preparation and all those sorts of things, but we do train as well to be adaptable. I know a lot of the coaches in the Australian swimming community, they'll throw different curveballs here and there at training to, make sure when stuff like this does happen, you're ready to go and you're only there to focus on your race. And look, while you're in there, it's a little bit of extra time just to think about your race plan, how you're going to execute. Is the plan to work the third 25 hard, or is it to back off a little bit and save your legs for the last little lap? It's just another opportunity to sit there and soak it all in and use those nervous butterflies to your advantage, I think.
So going a step further, the difference between short course swimming and long course racing, is there a mentality difference there as well?
Look, the mentality is the same. I think there's definitely different tactics, and we saw that this morning. So I guess we got the 400-metre race coming up first. Long course, it's a bit different. We're working the first 100, 150, whatever the plan is there. Short course, it's more of a gun goes off and you go.
Yeah.
So very much a focus on turns and your push-offs in the short course arena. And it'll be exciting to see the 50-metre freestyles later on. And quite often, good backstrokers, good butterflies who can really work their underwaters turn into good 50-metre freestylers because they can spend 30 metres underwater in that race.
All right, let's head down to Matt. He's got a very special guest for us, Matt.
I do. Those who are used to our coverage for the swimming will know Gary Barclay well, and he's very kindly joined us to have a quick little chat before we get started today. Now, Baz, great to see you. We've seen up on the board here and a lot of the promotional stuff around the Swim Well program and the initiative that's been put through for Swimming Australia. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because it's definitely such a positive move forward for Swimming Australia.
Oh, absolutely, Matt. We're looking at the Swim Well strategy right across the country and looking right from learn to swim all the way through to competitive swimming, right up to high performance swimming. So as part of the Swim Well strategy, we've got 3 action plans. And in those 3 action plans, there's one around coaching and revolutionising coaching across the country. One around officiating, which has just been launched in the last couple of days. And we met with all the officials here just tonight and had a chat around that. And then the other one's around sport growth. So they're all the programs that are out there at the moment around the country, including the Phoenix JX program, the H2 Grow Retain program, and many other programs that are already being implemented by the state associations around the country.
Yeah, you're a busy man with all of these different programs and all different levels. Obviously, you mentioned the JX program, and I've been involved in that. It's fantastic to get all the junior excellence program, get all those junior grassroots level swimming up. But last we spoke, you were leading into a new initiative and sort of taking almost the model of the American sort of college constantly racing and getting that race experience and team racing. So you launched the new Next Wave program that ran really successfully in Canberra this year for the first time.
Yeah, we did, Matt. With that particular program, it was 64 swimmers selected across the country from our Australian Age Championships. And those swimmers, we brought them all together in Canberra. And what ended up happening was over 7 days, they raced 6 times. So they raced like Tuesday morning, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, Friday night, Saturday morning. And they just had to get up and go again each time to race. What it did was just taught them more about themselves, more about racing. They learnt how to move from one race to another and improve an aspect of their race. As coaches, we talk about the process a lot, and that was really what we were focusing on there, was improving the process so that when they did race, they got the best performance out of themselves.
Now, as I said, you've got so many programs, but I've got to say, you have so much passion around that one. Every time we talk about that one, you really have a lot of passion. So it's great to see that. Moving forward now, obviously, going into the next few years, what's the next big passion piece?
Well, we've just come back from overseas. We've just had all the international meets. So we had the Australia A team compete in California. So a group of 20 swimmers competed at Irvine in California. And that was a terrific meet for those athletes that had just missed the senior team this year, and also gave them the opportunity to race in that 5-week window after trials, the same as what the senior team was doing. We then went to Slovakia for a staging camp with our 18 and unders. So the Australian junior team went into Slovakia, spent a week in Slovakia, and then went into Bucharest in Romania and raced at the World Junior Championships in Romania. And that was just unbelievable racing, like the best racing I've seen in the last 40 years across the world in that 18 and under age group. And the sport's really healthy across the world. There were so many events where, there were 8 in the final from 8 different countries. And we haven't seen that much before in the past. There's been 3 or 4 that have dominated, but you just couldn't pick who was going to make the final.
I'm glad you mentioned that World Junior Championships. That was scary fast. Looking at them at some of those times, you would think that was the actual World Championships. It was amazing. Thank you so much yet again for joining us and giving us a bit of an insight into what's happening in the background in Swimming Australia. Thank you very much, Gary.
Thanks, Matt.
And hopefully back to action very, very soon. But back to you at the booth, Tony.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that. Thank you, Gary, for having a chat to us. We're going to have a look at what para swimming is all about. Of course, you'll hear us mention the word multi-class a few times during the finals, because we do have some multi-class racing. We'll actually kick off with the women's and men's 400-metre multi-class freestyle. Alex, take us through what multi-class is all about.
Yeah, so there is classifications from going from S1 up to S19. So From S1 to S14, they're Paralympic classifications. So S1 to S10, they're for swimmers with physical impairments, significant limb deficiencies to minor nerve damage in one of more limbs. And then you got your S11s to S13s, another Paralympic classification. They are vision impaired swimmers. S11 swimmers have no vision, and S13 swimmers have limited vision. And then the S14 category, also swimmers that compete at the Paralympics. They have an intellectual impairment, and it impacts their ability to strategize around race tactics or certain elements of racing.
And then, of course, we've got classifications which are non-Paralympic, S15, 16, 17, 18 and 19, and they're more based around intellectually disabled swimmers.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, this is just another chance to give everyone a fair crack at having a swim. And the S18 to 19, it's actually a new classification. They have the intellectual impairments as well. So from 15 to 19, those categories, they're not actually available for Paralympic consideration. And the S1 to S14s, they are your Paralympians.
So the thing to remember, the lower the number, the more severely the impairment impacting the swimmer. At this meet here this week, there are multiple classes within each race, but times only will be compared within the same class. So all the S14s are effectively racing against the rest of the S14s, even though they'll have S19s, S4s in their race and the like. And the national results are determined, this is important, using the multi-class point system. Places are awarded for the highest 3-point scores in each event. So as we've heard Matt say, we take the world record as 1,000 points, and your swim today and your time today based to that world record is allocated a set of points. So if you get 980 points in your swim today, there's a fair chance you came pretty close to breaking a world record.
Yeah, absolutely, and that'd be a cracking swim. And we saw a couple of those times this morning. So Taylor Corrie went a 900-point swim, and then we had Jack Ireland in the 200 free for the men's, cracking the 960 odd.
Yeah.
So we will be on world record watch tonight with a couple of those swims.
Let's head down to Matt. He's got another guest for us down at pool deck.
I do. I'm just constantly surrounded by people to have a chat to, and I'm surrounded now by Jodie Hawkins, our Executive General Manager, Commercial. Now, Jodie, we've had a chat with Gary about what's been happening behind the scenes, but we want to know what's happening behind the scenes now. Why aren't we racing? This is the big question everyone wants to know. What's going on? We're meant to be racing.
Yeah, we do just have an issue with the touch pads at the 25 metre end. They're just not connecting to the timing system at the moment. So we just need to make sure that's working, because everyone likes their split times. So important piece of the event presentation to get right, important piece of the racing to get right. We just need to make sure they're all connected before we get started. So hopefully it shouldn't be too much longer. They're just redoing some cabling.
Have they tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
Yes. I watch them turn it off and on again.
Okay, I just want to make sure, cover all bases. Now, looking forward, obviously, post this meet and moving forward to the next 4 years, there's a lot of background work. We just talked about some of the big stuff with Gary, but there's a lot of going on behind the scenes. What are you involved in?
So I look after our commercial program, so building and developing our sponsorship propositions. We've got some exciting news coming up around some new sponsors that we're welcoming to the family, which is really great. I also work through the team with our event delivery. So we've secured our calendar for 2026. We're off to Bunbury for open water in January, back to the Gold Coast for Asian Opens, and then to Sydney for both our trials and short course next year. So starting to get that longer term planning for our events, which means that our community are able to book and plan a little bit better. And then marketing and communication. So there's a couple of really exciting projects around some brand work that we're doing at the moment that as we get towards the end of the year, we'll be able to talk about a little bit more.
Swimming Australia has always been very well supported by the general public and also by the commercial side of Australia, definitely through my years and continue through. So I know it's in good hands with you. But you mentioned there the open water, and it's great to see the open water getting more to the front of everything and becoming more main conversation in swimming rather than sort of, that thing that happens a little bit.
And I think Greg Shaw is here somewhere, and he might be next up for an interview, pending how long the delay takes. But he's done some great work with our open water program in really developing those swimmers coming through, and we're really starting to see those results. by those swimmers performing on that national and international stage, it just elevates the profile of the sport. So in the last couple of years, we've worked with Swimming WA to bring in a community swim element, so really tapping into that COVID experience where everyone decided to get in the ocean and swim, so really bringing them into the ecosystem as well. But it really does start with the lifting of the profile of the sport through the performances of the dolphins that are involved in the open water program.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jodie, for that insight. Thank you for the information about what the delay is, and hopefully they do find that on-off switch very soon. Throw back to you, Jodie, in the booth.
Let's hope they do, Matt, exactly. Hopefully not too far away until we get a start. But I'll tell you what, we did have some fantastic racing this morning in our heats. And Alex, let's have a look at some of the races that were around. The Women's Open 400-metre freestyle multiclass.
Yeah, this was a pretty cracking race, really. And as you can see here, we just explained the multi-class system. You've got the points up there on the side, and this is moving to the men's now, and there was some pretty cracking times there as well. You got a 4:39 from Ben Willis and James Logan with a 4:39 as well, so expect that to be pretty close.
Women's 50-metre freestyle, backstroke I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. The splash and dash, and that's the first 50-metre of the night. We're expecting to be very quick, and followed up by the men's 200 backstroke. We had an international swimmer from Korea looking very comfortable this morning, and then Matt Magnuson looking extremely good as well with a 2-second drop.
The men's 100-metre butterfly was also a big race, and it was William Layton up there as well as Matty Temple.
Yeah, absolutely, and probably a little bit of a surprise as well. But, you know, Matty Temple being the star that he is, probably leaving a bit more in the tank for tonight, but we will see. Then came that controversial call in the 200. Unfortunate DQ from Tara Kinder, so the top seed is out. And
Emily Smith took the win.
Yep, and the field is opened right up.
We then moved into the Women's Open 50-metre freestyle, and this was just an absolute powerhouse race, and it was Lucy Dring who took the fastest time.
Yeah, and it was interesting to note that she's also swimming the 200-metre butterfly. So she backed up that race. And as I mentioned before, the butterflies and the backstrokers tend to go very well in the 50s because they can swim over half of the race underwater.
100-metre IM for the men, and Felix Dressel de Bruin was just way too strong.
Yeah, absolutely. And these IM races are so exciting. It's the only chance we really get to see one lap of each stroke. And that's going to be a great event for the men's and women's tonight.
Back down to you, Matt, at pool deck.
I am down here on pool deck and a little bit closer to the start of the events. You can see here the blocks, obviously, and this little kicker we call at the back can be moved back and forth. So if you see the swimmers do that, they'll set that up before they get going. Also down here is a pole that says, do not lean on the pole. I didn't lean on the pole, it's okay, but that pole is there for the high-speed cameras up top, and that will determine if there's any dispute with a finish with a touchpad time or anything like that. They can go back to that high-speed footage and get that accurate time. The most important bit of equipment here on pool deck tonight at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre are these heaters, very nicely put in to keep us nice and warm as we go. And the button for the officials just to get that manual time as well. But there's one more bit of equipment that I have to say I'm almost embarrassed to say that I would like to get some more information on. Being a backstroker, I feel I know a lot about the backstroke events, but the relatively new piece of equipment is the backstroke ledge. We see it being brought out for all of the events, the 50, 100, 200 backs, and we've got one now. And we've got Max here, one of our technical officials. And Max, tell us about the backstroke ledge. You know, it's been brought in. What year was it brought in? I want to say 2009, 2010?
It's been a while now, yeah. So we had some issues at international competitions with some swimmers having some difficulties getting some contact with the slippery touchpads as well. So World Aquatics fortunately brought in this technology to be able to help really allow the athletes to get the best starts possible in the backstroke races.
Well, when I was swimming, obviously we didn't have these ledges, and there was lots of tricks that we would do depending on how high you'd put your feet. There was always the hairspray on the bottom of the feet. You just ask someone, has everyone got your hairspray or some deodorant or some sort of sticky material on your feet? That would sometimes help. But these are brilliant. We very rarely see those feet slipping down now with the ledges. But sometimes we do see a little bit of a problem with the ledges as we go, and they're pretty quickly replaced as we go through. But show us how they work.
Yeah, so essentially this backstroke ledge sits in the water and it allows the swimmer to be able to have their feet on the grip part of this ledge here. We still make sure that their toes are still in touch with the actual touchpad to ensure that they're swimming the full length of the course.
So what is the definitive rule on that, I've got to say? So is it just any part of the foot has got to be in contact? Has it got to be a toe? Has it got to be the ball of the foot? What's the definitive rule on what is in contact with the touchpad?
So I guess traditionally you'll see the technical officials make sure that the swimmers have at least one toe from each foot touching the actual touchpad on the wall. And quite rarely, but sometimes you'll see the technical officials actually talk to the swimmers to inform them that they do need to move their feet up to be in contact with the wall.
Very good, and it's a really grippy surface. You can see here this ridge lining, so no slips on the way through, which is absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much for giving us a bit of a background on that. We see it being put in and out, but rarely we see it so close. So thank you. Back to you, Tony.
Thank you, mate. Just before you go, how fast do you think you would have gone if you had one of those?
Oh, that would have taken 10 seconds off my time for sure. Maybe 0.0001? I don't know.
Maybe. Good to see, mate. Thank you for that. Yeah, some great technology being brought into the world of swimming, and we I saw it for the first time. Actually saw it live with the swimmers this morning, and it all seemed to work pretty well. Got a crowd starting to build here at MSAC. G'day everyone up there in the crowd. Looking great, supporting our swimmers. We've got the DJ Rose, who's pumping the tunes out in the background as well. And an old favourite, Pete Laser, doing the ground announcing. Everyone is being entertained here at MSAC. If you get the opportunity over the next couple of days, why not pop on down either during the morning session or the finals? We'd love to see you here at MSAC. There's some pictures of our athletes waiting to come out, our multi-class swimmers. Our first two events actually are multi-class tonight, the women's and men's 400 metre freestyle. We'll get them out very, very shortly, and we'll kick off our night hopefully very soon. Some beautiful pictures of Melbourne have been taken, and there's some right there. We're going to head off to a break. When we come back, plenty more to come your way here on Wide World of Sports from MSAC in Melbourne, Victoria. And welcome back to the 2025 Australian Short Course Championships. Let's head down to Matt.
We're almost ready for action, but I could not. I saw Sam on the side of the pool and I just had to have a quick chat. You're about to do the 400 free, but we're saying you haven't done it for 4 years, uncharted territory.
Yeah, definitely uncharted territory. Last time I did a 400 free short course, I was 17, so pretty excited. I go to World Cups in a week, so this is a good opportunity to get a race under my belt.
You worried about the count? You got 16, just keep counting. Now, your time you set last time was in a virtual meet. So now you've actually got everyone racing. Are you going to go for a hard one? You said you're getting ready for the World Cups. You're going to, push it to see what you're really capable of?
100%. I don't race without giving it my all. So, I've been racing all these boys in the final a lot of them my age. So, yeah, 100% going to give it a crack. I think early season, so I think my middle 200 should be pretty solid. So that's what I'm going to try and use.
Well, I'll be commentating, but in between every breath, I'll be cheering for you. So go out there and get them.
Okay, thank you.
Good on you, Matt. Thank you for that. Sam Short, just one of the stars that are here this next 3 days swimming for us, and really look forward to see what he can put down in event 4, which won't be too far from our start. Our start, not too far away. I think we're kicking off in around about 1 to 2 minutes time.
Yes, indeed. We're looking forward to that one. Shorty, very confident man. Always backs himself in, and you know what? That's probably why he's one of the best swimmers in the world.
Yeah, 100%. That is exactly why he's one of the... I love the line, I don't go out to swim, not to win. Why would you?
No, he's a true competitor, Sam, so I just cannot wait to see him get in and really go after it. We saw that in the 400s this morning. Those, we often say it, those who dare win. He's definitely one of those guys that gets out there and holds on for dear life. But starting off with the women's multiclass 400 metres freestyle in this short course set up here at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. And we've been waiting for a little while now. Excited.
Yep, we're in though. Chloe McAuliffe in lane 0 from Lawrence. Emily Pratt from Hunter in lane 1. As we go through the field, Emmeline Gearoord in lane 2. 14-year-old from DRLC Maroubra. Ava Dennis in lane 3. As we get into lane 4, and Nolene Ponto from Auburn, one of the stars of this morning.
Absolutely. A few races on the cards for her tonight. This is just the first one off the rank.
Amelia Steiner in lane 5. Samantha Pratt, looking forward to seeing how she can go in this race.
Amazing story of Samantha Pratt after a basketball accident. Complications led to the amputation of her leg just last year, so back swimming and racing, amazing to see.
Evie Lee in lane 7. Danica Biddle in lane 8. And our final competitor will come from Hunter, 17-year-old Lexi Phillips in lane number 9. Our field for the women's multi-class 400-metre freestyle. So it should be a good race in the middle lanes between Dennis, Ponto and Steiner. They were our quicker times from today. Once again, first to hit the wall though doesn't mean the medal. It'll all be done based on points, based on their time relative to the world record for that category or their class in multi-class.
And based on that, Lexi Phillips out in lane 9. S7, the lowest category we have in tonight's race. So her time will translate to a higher point score. 17-year-old from Hunter, she's still in the mix. So even from lane 9, a good chance to get a good points haul for those final placings.
Women's multi-class 400 freestyle about to kick off in just a sec. We said we were looking forward to Sam Pratt, 28 years old from Sydney. And what a story that was, as Matt said. Basketball last year, had an issue with her leg, broke her foot or fractured her foot, went to hospital, had some complications due to that, and as a result had to have that foot amputated. And here she is a year later in a national short course championship. In the pool and swimming, our first event for the night, our first final for the night, and out in lane number 4, it is Nolene Ponto. Stayed underwater for nearly the full 15 metres as she came up, and she touches the wall in first place. Our timing system not working at that end, so we'll give you a visual indication. Also inside her, Ava Dennis in lane number 3. She's up there in second, and Amelia Steiner in third place.
Yeah, takes them through at the 50-metre mark. Only about half a second in it. Ponto from Dennis, 31.1 plays 31.7. So very tight for those front placings, but as usual, we get those middle lanes just starting to push away, and pretty early at this stage, I've got to say, Alex, they're really starting to make their mark early.
Yeah, absolutely, and we saw the heats split up this morning. There was a couple of heats, so the girls might be racing each other for the first time tonight. I spoke this morning about Ponto's technique, really nice high elbows, long strokes. That's exactly what you want in a freestyle swimming technique. So she's looking really comfortable here, not too much legs either, so maybe saving a little bit for the back end of this race.
Yeah, breathing every 2 strokes, getting plenty of oxygen, sitting up nice high in the water as well.
She, of course, had 3 races this morning. This is race number 4 for the day for Nolene Ponto. All 3 competitors in lane 3, 4 and 5, currently first, second, third, are all S19 competitors. So they are racing effectively against each other in their class. But having said that, here comes Samantha Pratt in lane number 6. Just starts to turn it on a little bit and moves into 3rd place.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a great push off from Pratt there, trying to make up a little bit of ground. You'll see some different tactics in this 400 freestyle, especially in the short course version. Much more push-offs off the wall, so trying to save those legs in the middle of the race so you'll have enough energy to bring it back at the end.
As they make their way back to complete another 25, it is still Nolene Ponto in front of Ava Dennis, who's sticking right with her. There's still only a body length between these two, and that's all there's really been for about the last 100 or so metres.
Yeah, so the halfway mark is swum 2:20.26, only 0.6 of a second, just over half a second. But if anything, Dennis has pushed back and is going in for the lead. So really clear that she was pushing for the back half of this race as she takes the lead at the 2:25 metre mark, and is really starting to get ahead. So that stroke we were talking about before from Ponto has put her in good stead over that first 100 metres, 200 metres of this race. But Dennis now really starting to bring it home.
I'll tell you, one to look out for is Samantha Pratt out in lane number 6. She's starting to really close the gap now between herself and Nolene Ponto. So second place could be up for the offering shortly for Sam Pratt in 6, but Ava Dennis turns about 2 body lengths, maybe 3 now in front of Nolene Ponto in lane 4.
So yes, Samantha Pratt breathing both sides just to keep an eye on what's going on. She can see she's pretty clearly 3rd at this stage, so that'll give her great confidence leading her with 100 to go.
Yeah, she's looking really strong here, Dennis, and moving through from the heats to the finals, maybe you had a little bit in reserve this morning, and it's really showing here, and maybe all those races from Ponto have caught up to her. But we'll watch the time. We'll see what these 2 ladies can produce as the rest of the field. But look at Pratt come now.
Yeah, she is starting to really turn it on. Samantha Pratt out in lane number 6. You might be right about Ponto, Alex. It could be fatigue that's just sort of bringing her back a little bit. It's been a big day for her.
Yeah, I think so. But young swimmers as well, they can tend to bounce back a lot better than the older swimmers. And looking at this field, very young. Ponto, 14 years of age. Dennis, 16 years of age. So they've got that on their side. But it is Dennis moving through the field now. A little bit of a kick going, but it looks to have picked up the rate on her stroke as she builds into the final turn.
Ava Dennis, 3 lengths in front, maybe 4 now as she turns around with 15 to go. Swimming nicely ahead of Nolene Ponto and Sam Pratt. I think they'll be our top 3. But Ava Dennis, S19 class, 16-year-old from Warragul, hits the wall in a time of 4:45.48. Beat her time from this morning by around about 5 seconds. Second place going to Nolene Ponto in lane 4, and 3rd place going to Samantha Pratt in lane number 6.
Now, it was a pretty well-paced swim, I've got to say, from Dennis. She didn't get stressed out when Ponto took it out strong. And she managed to bring it home very well in that last 100, but it really was that middle section of the race where she took over at that 200 metre mark.
So the calculations are being done, and as we await our final swimmer in Lexi Phillips, who hits the wall now. She's still got another 50 to go, Lexi, so the crowd will be getting behind her.
And also McAuliffe out in lane 0. She'll be coming through to finish up her race. So S10 swimmer McAuliffe out in lane 0. She touches the wall in a 5:45.45. A nice easy number to remember. There's 25 metres to go. Phillips, our S9 swimmer in lane 9. S7 swimmer in lane 9. There's an entry time of 6:06.66. I feel probably just a little bit back from that, but still will be in the hunt with the points.
6:14.50 for Lexi Phillips. A great swim to finish off the final for her. Good win to Ava Dennis in the race. Nice and strong all the way through. Very shortly we'll have our points go up, and we do, and our gold medalist for the race will be Emily Pratt out there with 758 points.
It'll be Pratt from Pratt.
Yeah,
first
Pratt from
and
Pratt.
second. So Samantha Pratt there in second, and Gerard with 670 points snags third. So Phillips there, the final swimmer to touch the wall, actually got in for fourth. So those point scores just showing that the race is not over until it is swum. As we now move towards the men's multi-class 400 metres freestyle.
We do. Let's see who's racing. Ryan McGrain in lane 0. 33-year-old from Geelong. Great to see how he goes, S18. Tyan Hook in lane 1 from Good Life. He's 18 years old. Calvin Tran from Oasis Otters in lane 2. And Andrew Din in lane 3 from Oasis Otters as well. In lane 4, Benjamin Wills from Melton. Lane 5 sees James Logan from Melbourne in lane 5. Sean Deutsch in lane 6 from Nightcliff. We make our way out to lane 7, and Lockie Ballion from Terrelgan in lane 7. And David Bale, the 52-year-old from Wodonga, is out in lane number 8. Still a chance for you boys to get back into swimming.
We got a fair cheer from the crowd, so I think that's a pretty good reason to keep going in the pool.
It's only a 3.5 hour drive from Wodonga, so we'll have a few supporters come down, I'm sure, to watch you in the Nationals. All right, they're on the platforms, and we are set to go for our men's multi-class 400 metre freestyle.
Take your marks.
In the pool and swing for event number 2, our first finals night of the program, and out in lane number 4 it is Benjamin Wills, who got a great start. He's got a few around him though that are causing him just a little bit of grief at the moment. They won't go away. That's James Logan in 5, Sean Deutsch in 6, and out in lane number 1, Tyan Hook in lane number 1 also up there as well. So we've got 4 or 5 scattered right across the pool out in front.
Yeah, Tran there in lane 2, getting out pretty quick. Benjamin Wills in lane 4, just pushing through now. But Alex, we saw in the first heat, it was pretty clear that that Dennis and Ponto were going to go hard at it, but there's nothing in it. I know it's early stages. We're coming up to the 100 metre mark, so only a quarter of the way through the race, but no one's really put their mark on it yet, have they?
Yeah, not just yet. It looks to be lane 4, Benjamin Willis, who's put his hand up and said, all right, I'm going to take this one out. But you're right, there are about 5 swimmers there, and it's the turns as well. So you're going to see these skills where there are going to be some swimmers that are better placed, have better turns, a bit more power off the wall, but it might come down to the swim speed of Benjamin Wills at the moment.
Only a second or so separating our top 5. That's starting to just open up a little bit more now. And in lane 4, Benjamin Wills doing all the tough work out front, leading the pace. Next to him, James Logan in lane 5. Ben Wills with a S19 classification. James Logan with an S15 classification. And then Calvin Tran in lane 2 with an S14. They're our top 3.
And we said this morning the diverse range of not only classes and classifications in this multi-class race, but the ages as well. David Bale, 52, Benjamin Wills, 25, and all the way down to to Din from Oasis Otters, and also Lockie Bellion in lane 7 from Traralgon, 17 years of age. So a good range as they turn at the halfway mark, and it is Wills who is just keeping them at bay at this stage. Looks like he's picked up the rating now and thought, all right, I've done enough to save myself, to manage my energy over that first 200 metres. Now I really need to get going if I'm going to stay ahead, because I know these boys are going to try and catch me.
And he's doing it well too, Matty. He is now just over 2 seconds ahead of his nearest competitor, and that is James Logan in lane number 5. So you're right, he is starting to kick away. The battle for third, though, is interesting, with Kelvin Tran out in lane 2, and also back out here in lane 6, Sean Bush. There's not too much between those two at the moment.
They are holding on, but it is Benjamin Wills who put the hammer down. It looked like that last 50. So maybe that was a bit of direction from the coach after this morning's swim. And that's the benefit of having that heat. You can go and you can play around with the race. But when it comes to finals time, it's time to put the hammer down.
So it's still Ben Wills out in front. We'll see the margins very, very shortly. But it's still around about that 2 second mark between him as he touches with the 3:25.81, and Logan now 3:28.59. So just under 3 seconds between these two in lanes 4 and 5. Still out in lane number 2, Kelvin Tran holding on to third and really trying his hardest to get up there. In lane number 7 is Lockie Bellion, who's moved into 4th place at the moment.
Yeah, it's been a well-executed race from these two out in front. I thought Logan might have just been picking up the pace here, but Wills has answered right back and said, I'm not going to let you take this one from me. And it is a race of 2 out the front, 50 metres to go, and Wills has picked up the rate again.
It was a bit of a slow burn, this race, wasn't it, Alex? They started off just watching each other, and ever so slightly, Wills has just pushed himself away from the pack. Logan tried to go with him as they come down to that final finish, 10 metres to go. Great swim there from Wills.
The boy from Melton touches in first place in a time of 4:36.23. That is 3 seconds under his time from this morning. James Logan in second place. We wait to see who gets third. It was out in lane number 7. Lockie Bellion just got in ahead of Kelvin Tran, who was right up there all the way through as well.
3 more competitors to wait to get to the wall as we take this little sneak peek at the swimmers so far to get their times on the board, and it is very tight around that 600 point mark, which is a pretty quick swim for our multi-class swimmers. So 2 more. We have our swimmer up in lane 1, Tian Haupt, who's just finished lane 0, Ryan McRae. So Ryan with 50 metres to swim.
And also out here in lane number 8, David Bale, the man from Wodonga, is just about to touch, and there'll be a bit of support for him as he does that. Hear that in the background.
Keep an eye on that point score as well. We can see them slowly popping up. And there's Logan so far with the 600 points.
It is, look how tight it is though. Logan on 6:01, Bellion on 5:97, and Tran on 5:96. That's crazy.
That is crazy. McGrain comes in. Good swim, a little bit over from this morning. But as we know, anything can happen in a final, especially at the Australian Championships.
4:62 for McGrain in the end, which means our results for the 400 metre freestyle men's multi-class has James Logan, our winner, with his S15 class, and 601 points ahead of Lockie Bellion in second place on 5:97, and then Kelvin Tran on 5:96. That's half a second sort of separating them in time, isn't it?
You wouldn't think that you're going to score them out of 1,000 points, that the top 3 are going to be within 5 points of each other. And yeah, that's quite remarkable. Only 2 races in. Yes, we had a little bit of a delay, but I think we're more than made up for it with 2 great races. And we're going to continue more now. The women's 400 freestyle. We can see there the title holder, Britney Castelluzo, won't be swimming at this championships. So yet again, the opportunity is open for the next wave of swimmers to come through.
Jessica Osborne, a visitor in lane 0. Clementine Sanders from Randwick City in lane number 1. Lane number 2, Ciara Jeffs from Nunawading, always a strong club.
Kira, I just thought I'd correct you on that one, Kira Jeffs.
Kira.
Yes.
What did I say?
She'll come over and hit you if I don't say.
All right, thank you. Yep. Kira Jeffs. Erika Denko in lane number 3. Molly Walker in lane number 4. Sarah Locke in lane 5. Adriana Feidler in lane number 6. Dakota Mathers in lane 7. Denise Grave in lane 8. And in lane 9 from Surrey Park, Brianna Burgess.
So Kira Jeffs, an amazing swimmer, 100s, 200s, freestyle, IM, butterfly, really dynamic swimmer, but doesn't do the 400 a lot, so really strong swimmer. It'll be interesting to see how she goes here up against Molly Walker, her fastest qualifier, and that 4:08, so well and truly in front of the rest of the field. But in a race that Australia has done so well in both long course and short course, Britney Castelluzo, the Australian record holder in 3:53.73, set less than a year ago.
World record held by Summer McIntosh from Canada, as you'd expect. 3:50.25. She's got a few of those to her name.
Take your marks.
I reckon Lani and Ari could give it a bit of a tilt with an opportunity, but they're often racing in our first of the able-bodied women's racing, the 400 free, and Molly Walker already pushing forward. Also Sarah Locke looking good in lane 5, and it will be those two leading them through and down to the first 50 metres.
Adriana Feidler in 6, currently in 3rd place as well. They're our 3 out in front. And our leader now back in lane 4. Molly Walker takes the lead ahead of Sarah Locke, so they've swapped positions after the first 50.
Yeah, the 3 girls out the front starting to really push ahead here. And Molly Walker looking very nice for the first 75 metres. And we do talk about tactics. Look at the legs on Molly. She's got a nice even kick, as do all the girls really, but really smooth stroke as well. So maybe not exerting too much energy here, trying to keep it comfortable through the middle of this race and trying to bring it home afterwards. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that kick just bubbling away there behind Molly, and she didn't overdo that first 50. It's very easy to get caught up in the moment. First final for these girls tonight, and you can get caught up in the moment and just overdo that first 50 ever so slightly, and you'll be paying for it at the back end. But I got to say, Molly didn't let Sarah Locke get too far ahead, and Adriana Feidler from the Feidler dynasty, Rose and Chris up in Sydney, and right there for the ride as well. But Molly looking very, very strong at coming up to the halfway point.
Mate, you were talking earlier on about the Irvine, California Summer Series for the upcoming swimmers, and Molly was a part of that. Broke some long-standing South Australian records in the 400, 800 and 1500 freestyle. So she's got 4 behind her at the moment, and we can see that in the pool as we speak.
It shows how important those opportunities are when you get that opportunity to go and race overseas, race internationally, even locally at a meet like this. It's the ones that really learn to step up and make the most of those opportunities, learn from them and take that next step. It's exactly what Molly Walker is doing appropriately.
So she's really putting a gap on the girls through the turns.
Yeah.
So you can see the girls in lane 5 and 6 slowly creeping up on her on the swim, but when it comes to turn time, she almost pushes and gets that body length again. So it just goes to show how important these turns are in this short course form of this event.
She turns it on when it comes to turning, there's no doubt about it. Just getting a little bit of a gap each time she does it and increasing the margin. Watch her here. Great kickoff. And she just improves just that little bit more. That is Molly Walker in lane number 4. Out in lanes 5 and 6, the battle for second, Sarah Locke and Adriana Feidler.
Yeah, it's going to be a red hot battle for the second and third placings here as the girls start to lift the legs a little bit, especially coming from Sarah Locke. You can tell she's bringing those legs in now. Not long to go. About 75 metres left in this race. Who's got the legs to come home?
Molly Walker just doing it nicely. A margin of around about 2 to 3 seconds now.
Sarah Locke looking like she's got a second win. She definitely wants to keep ahead of Adriana Feidler right next to her in 6th, but I don't think she can catch Molly Walker at this stage. Not only is the gap a little bit too strong, it's out to about 3 seconds at this stage, but Molly looking very, very strong through the swim as well.
Gliding through the water at the moment is Molly Walker as she turns and may have increased that gap now to around about 3.5 seconds, maybe even 4. That's definitely larger than it was on the last 50. And she makes her way to the wall from Southern Performance. Molly Walker takes the win in a 4:06.92. Sarah Locke in second place. 4.5 seconds the margin. And then Adriana Feidler in third. 4:06.92.
Yeah, great swim from the girls there, and under their entry time. Important to note they didn't swim this heat this morning. This was a time final, so it's their first and only crack at this meet. But you can see a few of the girls there going under their entry times, potential PBs, which is an absolutely fantastic effort.
And a big smile there from Walker. She was happy with that time.
In that series in Irvine, California, she swam a 4:07.22 for the 400. That was, of course, long course.
That was a long course, so yeah.
So she's gone under that time here in the short course.
Yeah, which you'd expect in the short course, but it just shows she's keeping that level of performance up for these Australian Championships. And our first medal winner for the girls tonight in the able-bodied racing. So great to see a strong swim there from Molly Walker. Didn't quite walk it in. She had to push it quite hard, especially in that middle part of the race, but came home like a train as well. As we look forward to the men coming out, and they're walking on the pool deck right now for the 400 freestyle. And we had a very brief chat with Sam Short before. Hopefully that delay didn't mess his warm-up around too much, his preparation around too much. So I can't wait to see how he goes.
So let's introduce our swimmers for this men's 400-metre freestyle. Lane 0, Harry Hay from MLC Aquatic. Out in lane number 1, Anders McAlpine from Griffith University. Tommy Lane in lane number 2 from Nunawading. Lane 3, William Petrick from St. Peter's Western. Lane 4. Spoke to him earlier, as Matt said, he's pumped. Sam Short from Rackley. Lane 5 from Bond, Noah Camperad. In lane 6 from Moringa, Luke Higgs. Lane 7, we'll say good day to All Saints swimmer Thomas Hawke. In lane 8 from North Albury, Oscar Kutzberger. And in lane number 9 from Randwick City, Flynn Jackson.
It's a bit of a stacked field, I've got to say. Looking at those names you just called out there, Tony. This is a pretty strong field, Alex. And ironically, Samuel Short getting his favoured long distance racing in. And let's see if he can get close to that PB.
I'm excited for this one, just quietly.
Starter has them.
Take your marks.
And away they go for the start of our men's open 400-metre freestyle. And out in lane number 3, William Petrick, best off the blocks. Sam Short right up there with him. But Petrick takes a early lead after 25.
Yeah, it was a dynamic start there from William Petrick, but it's only one lap, in fact 2 laps now out of the 16 of this 400 metres freestyle. And Samuel Short turning through in a 25.09. It is one of the easiest 25.0 swims you'll see. Really nice and long in his stroke. And he set himself up very well. Big breath off that turn, so just hit a bit of a wave as he came through to do that. But now at the 100-metre mark, he's looking very strong.
Certainly is on his inside. Petrick still in second place. Tom Hawke coming home nicely as well after the first 100. Looks to be settling into the race and currently battling third with Harry Hay. Sorry, I should say that is Anders McAlpine in lane 1.
Yeah, you'll see the different tactics again play out here. Shorty looks like he's going as hard as he possibly can, but that's just the way he swims. He will go hard and he will stay. He is the distance king. He's a great 800 and 1500 metre freestyler, and in the long course version, a world champion in the 400 metre. So he's looking strong here, and he's looking to extend his lead. He might have even picked up the stroke rate on that 25.
He really whips his legs around on those turns, doesn't he? For a distance swimmer who hasn't swum short course a lot, he's setting himself up not only for a good swim, but that World Cup tour as well. You see his legs here really whip onto that wall fast. You almost can't see them, it's a blur.
200 down, 146.11 for Sam Short. 3.5 seconds ahead of Patrick McAlpine. Another second behind in third place. They're our top 3.
Alex, you gave a look then, and I pretty much mirrored it. Turning in a 146 at the 200. There's not many guys here that will be doing that on their own, and this is only halfway through the race. Quite extraordinary.
Yeah, that is extraordinary. He's looking really good, Shorty. You see how pumped he was before the race. He was quietly confident, but he did say he loves to get out and race, and he doesn't do anything half-heartedly, and he's showing that tonight. This is going to be some swim.
No, you're right. His exact words were, "I don't swim not to win."
No,
that's a great attitude.
The Australian record for this event, 3:34.58. That's going to be a tricky one to match. Swum by Grant Hackett back in 2002. So we'll keep an eye on the scoreboard, but he's given himself every chance at it.
2:41 after 300. So he is powering at the moment. Sam Short, Patrick Hawke into third place now. But the margin is massive between the two of them.
You just see how much of a sprint this race is in the short course metres. Shorty took off like a rocket, and he has not stopped.
I was trying to do the maths quickly there. Just needs to go back in a 55, 56, something around that. Now, what's that? 3:19. So 3:09. So it's going to be a bit tricky on that, but it's going to be a quick swim. 3:41 is his entry time, and he's going to be
25-second 50 will get it for him.
Yeah, it's going to be a quick one.
See how he can do it. He's turned around and he's on his way back now with around about 15 to go. Let's hear it for this guy, Sam Short, folks, as he brings it home and touches the wall in a 3:36.12. That is 1.5 seconds off the Australian record held by Grant Hackett. That is a pretty good swim.
That is an unreal swim there from Shorty. Really took it out hard and just held on the whole way. And maybe he was quietly confident at the start. Sorry, Tony, but he might have been leading into something a little bit more. Maybe he had that Australian record in the back of his mind.
William Patrick second. That's all I wanted to say. Thomas Hawke in third place. But Sam Short, what a time. 3:36.12. That Australian record by Grant Hackett of 3:34.58. So as we said, just 1.5 seconds off. Let's have a look at the replay. He got off to an amazing start off the blocks and bang, just went straight into it.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's been something he's been working on, Shorty, his turns and his starts. And we saw that result this year at the Australian trials where he went at 1:45 in the 200 free. He kept up with the sprint boys, as a matter of fact. He doesn't traditionally do that in the shorter distances. So he looks to be putting in a lot of work in his turns and his starts, and it's paying off.
7.5 second margin between himself and second place getter William Patrick. So that was a big margin between those two. Patrick and Hawke fighting it out for third and second, with Patrick taking the advantage. But Sam Short, the nod of approval, is pretty happy with what he did there. And so he should be too.
Yes, indeed. And good to see Will Patrick get under his seed time as well. Good 3-second PB. So it's really good to do these times at this start of the year. You know your training's paying off and you've got to set yourself up for the year ahead. There's our result. Sam Short in a 3:36.12. William Patrick a 3:43.65. And Tom Hawke a 3:45.59. Our medal winners from the men's 400 metre freestyle. Time now to head down to Matt, who's got our winner. It's the second time he's spoken to him tonight. Sam Short's down there at pool deck.
Fresh from the win in the 400, Sam Short. I'm just going to throw two numbers to you and I will get your reaction. 146, 150.
Oh, at least I was out at 146, to be honest. I was a bit worried. I was talking to my coach earlier, like, my teammate Tommy Neal, I think our club record's like 3:35 or something. So I was kind of going for that, but maybe next week at World Cup. So yeah, super stoked.
That was a very quick swim. You led out obviously from the start from these guys, but you look like you just keep attacking. That's the way you do it, and this short course style really seems to suit that.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised. Like at 300 metres, I wasn't really like hurting that much. So next time I definitely need to toughen up a little bit and try and push a little bit earlier. But yeah, super keen for like the 200 free later in the week and the 8 and 15. So excited.
Well, next time we talk, hopefully I say 145, 148. How about that? Does that sound good?
Yeah, that'd be good. Knock off Hackey's record one day, maybe. We'll see.
Awesome work, Sam.
Cheers. Thank you.
Good on you, Matt. Well done. Congratulations to you, Sam. A fantastic swimmers. Our swimmers are in the marshalling area for our next events, which will be the women's 50-metre backstroke, A and B final, and then the men's 200-metre backstroke also set to go after that. We'll take a break and back with more right here on Wide World of Sports. It is the 2025 Australian Short Course Championships.
Welcome back to the final night, or the first final night of action here at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre for the 2025 Australian Short Course Championships. We just saw an amazing race there from Sam Short in the 400 freestyle as the women walk on now for the A final of the 50 metres backstroke. Mackenzie Burns, we saw her in the pre-show really nailing that heat swim this morning to get herself that lane 4 swimmer out of St Andrews. I was really impressed with her underwater on the second lap. She dominated the first lap, but really dominated that second lap in the 50 backstroke. And a visitor from the Japan club, Mizuki Hirai, looking very strong as well, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we see lane 3, moving into lane 4, Mackenzie Burns, and that's who you're talking about there, Matt. And one of our first visitors, Mizuki Hirari from the Japan club, and moving on to Semron Kim from Korea. So it's really good to see that international representation here, as we see Britney Castelluzo from South Australia, world champion in the 4x200 metre freestyle. This one's a lot shorter. Alana Torrance out in lane 8 and rounding off with Sarah Bennett. So the first splash and dash event of the night. Expect it to be fast.
And we saw those backstroke ledges before, and now we get to see them in action.
As our swimmers jump into the pool for the A final. B final to come up after this. Women's 50-metre backstroke. 26, 27 seconds. We'll see it done and dusted. Often swimming in this A final. And let's wait and see who comes up first. Out in lane at number 5 it is Mizuki Hirari, the visitor from Japan. She touches first, turns around. Mackenzie Burns on her outside. Can she make up some distance underwater? They pop up again. Where are they? It's still Hirari in front. Burns trying hard. Also out there in lane number 5, in lane number 6 I should say, is Kim. But it is Hirari from Burns. Kim takes third place.
Well, that was quite the swim. That was a long way underwater, I'm just saying. I'm not going to say anything else, but that was a long way. You're only allowed 15 metres, and
It looks longer than the 25 pool.
It looked longer than 15 metres in my mind. I don't want to say that.
I didn't want to give it away either on the mic, but I'm sitting right on the 15-metre line. And
her head definitely came up afterwards, so we'll see what happens.
No comment.
Mizuki Harari, though, the unofficial winner of our final. Congratulations to her in second place, as we said, Mackenzie Burns and Sungwon Kim from Korea in third. This is the B final for the women's 50-metre backstroke.
Mackenzie Burns as the first Australian representative to finish up there in that final will be Australian national champion.
Alexandra Skinner from Caulfield in lane 4, the fastest of our B finalists. So effectively the 11th fastest from this morning's heats.
Take your marks.
Away in racing, getting off to a good start as they come out of the water now and out in lane number 5. It is Isabella Lee doing a great job. Coming up to her though in lane 4 is Alexander Skinner. They touch and turn. This is going to be tight as they make their way down. Also in lane 7, Abby Kearney is swimming well as well. It is in lane 5, our winner, Skinner, our leader I should say, Skinner. Coming home hard though is Kearney. Does she get it? Yes, she did. A good win there to Abby Kearney. Out in lane 7.
A really clean swim there from Kearney Lee. Very low in the water, really tight on that turn, and probably lunged down a little bit too low to get to that touch pad first. So very nice swim there from Abby Kearney to get home first in that B final, only by 100th of a second. So only 0.08 of a second separating the top 3. It is tight in these 50-metre races as we now move to another backstroke event, the men's 200 metres backstroke. And Alex, this morning we saw some great heat swims. Matthew Magnuson looked so strong and long and easy, especially in that first 100. Built it really strong to get a 153.4. And Juho Lee, our second fastest qualifier, our visitor from the Korea Club, Thomas Hawke in there as well. It's going to be quite a battle.
Yeah, I think so, and I'm really intrigued to see Juho Lee here. Looked like he wasn't even trying, but that was how efficient he was in that 200 metre this morning. But yeah, Matty Magnuson, can he take it to him? Let's hope so. He dropped a couple of seconds of his time this morning.
Xavier Purcell from Caulfield in lane 0. Cameron Riccini from Miami in 1. Clancy Luscombe in lane 2 from Marion All Saints. Thomas Hawke in 3. Matthew Magnuson in lane 4 from St. Peter's Western. Zhou Lee from Korea in lane number 5. Will Sharp from Nunawading in lane number 6. Samuel Higgs in lane 7 from Warringah. Sebastian King out in lane number 8 from Sydney University. And our final swimmer from Cronulla in lane number 9, Solomon Freeman.
He's excited, Solomon Freeman.
Don't know what that means.
Neither do I, but he does, and some people watching at home, I think they do too.
I sadly do not know what it means, but for the everyone's sanity, I'm not going to say what it is. And we're going to try and move on.
Can't wait for the commercial break.
Oh, it's nothing interesting.
Oh,
it's actually really boring. That's the problem.
Damn. Starter's got him.
Take your marks.
Away and swimming in the A final for the men's 200 metre backstroke. And out in lane number 5, Zhou Lee with the early lead at the 25 metre mark and swimming well too, about half a body length in front of the guys around him. Of course, that's Magnuson and Sharp.
Juho Lee with that stroke you said before, Alex. It almost looks like he's not even trying. We saw Matthew Magnuson really bring it home hard in that last 100, so don't count him out yet. Juho Lee was just outside his best time this morning, so we know he's on song for a good swim, and he's set himself up for a good time already at 75 metres.
So it's Juho Lee from Korea out in lane 5, just away. Matthew Magnuson in lane 4, half a body length between the two of them. Will Sharp also there as well from Nunawading. He's currently in third place.
Well, this is the all-important third 50, so if Magnussen's going to make a move, this is where it's going to happen. So he really needs to push this turn, get in as fast as he can, get his legs over, underwater, try and make up a little bit of that gap that he's relinquished to Lee in that first 150.
It was half a body length. It is now a full body length between the two. Lee and Magnussen fighting it out.
It's going to be an epic last 50 here, and you're right, Matt. Matt Magnussen this morning turned on the jets in that last 100, but Juho Lee with that easy stroke. Wow, he's efficient. But it's going to come down to this. Last 25. What can Magnussen do here?
Oh, Juho just looking down a little bit just to keep an eye on the rest of the field. He knows he's got it. In fact, he's lifting the rate now. Why wait now? Do it earlier. Go faster. With a 151.24, he touches the wall first. A very quick time. And Magnussen home second, 153.14, marginally faster than this morning. And Will Sharp, 155.19. So our top three all in a pretty quick time. But none faster than our visitor from Korea, 151.24.
Great swim by Juho Lee, the 30-year-old from Korea, taking the win. There he is. Look how easy that stroke is for him.
Good to see most of the field underneath that 2 minutes mark. Thomas Hawke there, 8th place, 159.4. So plenty of the boys getting under 2 minutes, and I can tell you that wasn't that long ago that getting under 2 would put you right near the top. So depth of backstroke getting stronger and stronger every year.
B final about to come up for the men's 200 backstroke. Fastest swimmer, Murakami, a visitor swimming at Manly, is in lane number 4. His time of 2 minutes, 0.73 from this morning. So he'll look to be going under the 2 minute mark as well, one would think. Turning it on in the final. Let's see if he can do it. Starter has them.
Take your marks.
Wayne swimming in our B final for the men's 200 backstroke. And out in the middle, lane 5 again. Seems to be getting all the action from the start, where McKittrick is our early leader, ahead of Noah Pronk in lane 6.
8 laps of the backstroke, and we can see that wind really starting to blow the flags around. So using those backstroke flags to judge their distance on the turn, 5 metres out, every pool around the world, so they get nice consistency there. But out in lane 9, James Biddington is putting his bid in for the lead of the race. And it looks like he's got it coming up to the 100 metre mark. So hopefully he can keep that going. We love an outside smoker.
So Biddington from Pronk in lane 6. McKittrick in 5. Murakami in 4. Also up there in 4th place at the moment, Joshua Cairns in lane 8.
Only 2 seconds separating all these lads in the field tonight. So we're expecting a close race. And you're right, lane 9, it's a hard lane to swim in because you've got the wall there and you've got the lane rope. Take your choice.
Yeah, he's decided to stick with the lane rope, which is exactly the right decision to make. 50 metres to go. He's done a great job in holding them off, but he just needs to do it for 2 more laps. He's got about 0.5 of a second lead over second place McKittrick in the middle of the pool, but McKittrick really starting to push home in this last 50. So Biddington better have a little bit more to give as they come in, but McKittrick, I think, has probably got the best of the rest of the field now as he comes down with 10 metres to go. He will touch first, but I think Biddington will hold on for second, just in front of Bryant out in lane 3.
So McKittrick taking the win from Biddington and Bryant, our top 3. A good finish by McKittrick, ending up 1.5 seconds ahead of the second place swimmer.
Yeah, getting under that 2 minute mark, so that time would have put him well and truly into that A final tonight. So he had a little bit to prove.
Yeah, good opportunity there to re-race, trying to execute what maybe didn't go wrong this morning. And it clearly worked. He dropped about 2 seconds there from what he did this morning. So
Came home strong. Almost feel like he could have started that push a little bit earlier, but you never know how they feel as they're going through. We move now from the backstroke races to the breaststroke women's multi-class 100 metres breaststroke. And we see some familiar names there, Tony. We saw them before in the 400, and they're backing up now in the 100 breaststroke.
And we'll see him a little bit later on again.
We will. It was a tough program already.
This will be
It's got
swim
even
number
bigger.
5 for Nolene Ponto for the day.
And obviously they're warming up and cooling down in between this, so plenty of laps swum by our multi-class swimmers today.
Ruby Halliday in lane 0. Jasmine Falgrave in lane number 1. From Corowa in lane 2, Mia Hogan. She's only 13 years of age. Good luck to you, Mia. Imogen Nolan in lane 3 from Nunawading. Nolene Ponto, she's only 14 years of age. And she is out in lane 4. Minamai Kubo from Japan in lane number 5, the 29-year-old. And Ikua Naka Higashi in lane number 6. Also from Japan, Grace Ryder in lane 7. Gemma Salick in 8. And Lexi Phillips in lane number 9. She's also had a full program as well, Lexi.
yeah, she's into it again. Second swim of the night. It's just great to get up and have another crack, isn't it? I was so terrible at that.
Just backing up.
Yeah, heaps of lactate. Just wanted to swim down and go home and have a sleep.
Give me the one race. That'll do me. All right, this is the women's multi-class 100-metre breaststroke.
Take your marks. Stand down.
Starter just saw a bit of movement there, so he asked them to stand down. We'll restart them again shortly. Here we go, take 2.
Take your marks.
Away this time in the women's 100-metre breaststroke multi-class. And a good start there in lane numbers 4 and 5. Ponto and Kubo going out early. Also out there in lane number 3 is Nolan, putting in a good start as well.
Yeah, looks to be Kubo early on, rating up quite fast, so wanting to take this race out fairly hard. Nolan doing the same thing. As you can see, Ponto just a little bit longer on the stroke, perhaps going to have a little bit more to give on the back end of this race. But it is Kubo so far going well. But here comes the challenge from Nolan, and it's going to come down to the last 25. I can feel it. The rate's starting to come up a little bit further. Who gets their hand on the wall now? It's all about the final turn here.
It's definitely between these two out front, Kubo and Nolan. Kubo about half a body length in front. Nolan trying hard to bridge the gap. Ponto in 3rd place, a clear 3rd for her, but heading up to the wall, it'll be Minami Kubo from Japan to take the win. Ahead of Imogen Nolan and Nolene Ponto, and of course now we'll go to times and point scoring for Nolan, 872, but Kubo 886 points will put her in the 1st position, which she was anyway on time.
That's it, and they were same category as well, so similar point score there, similar times. Yeah, that 800 point mark is a very, very good effort, very good swim there from Kubo and Nolan.
A reminder, 1,000 points is equivalent to effectively being on the world record. So when you see someone with 870 or 886 points, you know they're not too far off it.
Yeah, very close to that 900 mark. We saw a couple of 9s this morning. So you can see the quality in this multi-class is right there. As we move now to the next event, we'll see the results for that event first though. And top point score, Kubo, that 886 and Nolan 872. And sneaking in just underneath that 800 point mark, Hogan getting in for 3rd. But we move now to the men's multi-class 100 metres breaststroke as the swimmers are led out onto pool deck. Fastest qualifier this morning on the scoreboard is Miles Parfitt. So the point scores from this morning go through the top 10 point scorers, top 10 highest point scorers from the heat swims, make it through to tonight's final, and then they are ranked based on their time. So you might be the fastest through, but you might have an outside lane depending on your category.
Bradley Doolan in 1, Caden Smith in 2, Mingzi Pang in 3, Camberwell Grammar, Miles Parfitt in 4, Thomas Voigt from Grace in lane number 5, he's ready to go, Lockie Bellion in lane 6 from Terrelgan, and Ryan McGrain from Geelong in lane number 7. Bradley Doolan, 31. Ryan McGrain, 33. Mingzi Pang, 14. Fair spread of ages here in the final for the men's multi-class 100-metre breaststroke.
They look locked in at the start of this race, these fellas, so expect a fast time here.
Take your marks.
And away they go, first time round for our swimmers in the pool and swimming now. And out in lane number 4, it is Miles Parfitt, who is going to be our early leader at 25. Right up there with him though, in lane number 5, Thomas Voigt. So it's Parfitt in 4, Voigt in 5, and Parfitt makes sure he gets up first. Not much of a lead though, I wouldn't say it's half a body length.
Yeah, he was looking really good off the gun there, but it looks like Voigt has made up a little bit of ground, a bit long on the turns, Parfitt. So he looks to be the fastest swimmer at this stage of the race, but it's going to come down to him. That was an unbelievable underwater there from Parfitt, and that's where he's going to go, and he's going to say, see you later, this is my race.
So from a small margin, it breaks out to over a length now between the two of them. Parfitt and Voigt, first and second. From Camberwell Grammar, Mingzi Pang, the 14-year-old, out there in lane 3, currently in 3rd place.
You don't see much pacing in the 100-metre race, but it's almost what happened. Really put on the afterburners in this final 50, does Parfitt, and comes down to touch in a very quick 1:14.34. 1:16.98 for second is Voigt, and Pang in for third, 1:19.48. So we look to see those point scores.
When you're not 3 seconds off your time from this morning, you've done pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking at this, and all the lads so far have knocked some time off from this morning, so that's a really good effort. It's a hard thing to do, is to turn up in the morning and then turn up again at night and swim even faster, so congrats to everyone who's done that.
Ryan McGrain is the man that's got the most points there though, 561 for him. Out in lane number 7, the 33-year-old, the oldest in the field, will take first place.
Second to the wall and second in points. There's Voigt there with a 5:04 and Pang in for third.
McGrain, you've done it again.
He has. Well done. Have you been waiting on that, or just came up? Well done. Beautiful stuff there from our multi-class swimmers. Now head into the final of the women's 200-metre butterfly. As our swimmers come out to pool deck, you can see the records down the bottom of your screen there. World records. Our title holder last year was Ellen Gandy. She's the Australian record holder, I should say, with a 2:02.88. Mia Misford in lane 0 from Melbourne Vic Centre. Mackenzie Wythe from lane 1 from Rocky City. Annalise Matthews in lane 2 also from Rocky City. Amber Clark in 3 from New Swim. Out in lane number 4 from USC Spartans, Lucy Dring, fastest from this morning. Out in lane 5 from Caulfield, Mia Yo. From Norwood in lane 6, Clara Karocki. Brianna Chen in lane 7 from DVE Aquatic. Dakota Mathers in lane 8 from Nunawading, and Layla Mahfouz in lane number 9 from Melton.
Well, just what everyone is looking forward to. 8 laps of a butterfly. And the legs are going to love this one. All of those kicks underneath the wall, underneath the water and off the walls, and all the way through the stroke.
Lucy Dring with the 2:13.76 this morning, and Mia Yo with a 2:14.05. Clearly our two fastest from this morning's heats. Let's see if that translates into that here in the pool in this final, as Lucy Dring gets the early lead, a half a length out in front of Mia Yo in lane 5. So those two have powered out, first and second. Out in lane number 2, Annalise Matthews, currently in 3rd place, but she's got a lot of challenges.
Lucy Dring going off to a flying start. Really wants to set the tone early this morning. Looked like she was cruising a little bit, so it's good to see that she's got some more to burn tonight.
Yeah, she's definitely doing that. Always want to back end the butterfly events, just make sure that your stroke holds true in those last few laps, but she is really pushing it hard, and the stroke hasn't changed at all, so lots of work in training, getting herself here. Mia Yo looking good as well from Caulfield.
Two body links in front, Lucy Dring.
Yeah, touches just over the minute mark, 1:00.5, so 2.5 second lead over Mia Yo, who has about a 2-second lead on the rest of the field. So I think the first and second place is determined already, barring an absolute massive upset, but third is definitely up for grabs, and it is a blanket across for third.
So Lucy Dring brings it home with 10 metres to go. She is powering. 50 to go, sorry. 2 laps left for Lucy Dring. Apologies for that.
She was 2:07.8 at the Queensland Shortcourse Championships this year, so she'll be really trying to get under that mark again, but she has dominated this race so far, and she will be Australian champion in the 200 fly shortcourse for the first time.
Oh, she's a bit long on that final turn. That would have been super frustrating for her. She's done so well in all of her skill work. Mia Yo still holding on for second, but Amber Clark really coming back at her. In fact, Amber Clark in lane 3 is going to put a big bid on for second, but what a swim. 2:06.77 for Lucy Dring. A dominant display of the butterfly. 2:13.61 for Amber Clark. Great pacing there to come over the top of Mia Yo in third, 2:14.20.
Did I mention putting 3 seconds on your time from the morning? For Lucy Dring, that was 7 seconds better than this morning's swim.
Very impressive.
I think you asked me this morning, Tony, that she looked like she was spending a little bit more time in the water than out of the water. It's because she was going easy.
Yeah.
It's hard to do easy butterfly, I got to say. Very hard to do slow, efficient fly. It's a dynamic stroke, it's a powerful stroke, and it has to be really swum that way. So she performed very well in the heat this morning to get her that middle lane, and really killed it tonight for the final.
There's our results. Lucy Dring in first, Amber Clark second, Mia Yo in 3rd place. Big margin between first and second, and then that was tight between Clark and Yo, with Clark just getting there at the end. That's event 9 down. Event 10 is the men's open 100-metre butterfly.
Well, this is one of the races Alex and I were discussing earlier. One of the ones we're looking forward to. Matt Temple has qualified himself 4th, which is interesting. He's the Australian record holder and title holder, and he knows exactly what he's doing. Looked very comfortable this morning, but very tight between the whole field. Only half a second off fastest. William Layton from the University of Queensland fastest through in a 52.39. Lucas Humanik from Logan Vikings, 52.67 this morning. And only like a tenth of a second between, no, less than a tenth of a second between Heller and Lavelle in 3rd and Matt Temple in 4th. Having said that, though, it really is only tenths of a second back to 5th, 6th, then all the way through to 10th. So this is going to be a big battle in this 100 metres butterfly. But I think experience has Matt Temple's back in this one.
Yeah, I think so as well. He's a Melbourne man, originally training in South Australia now, but he'd love to come home and put on a show for friends and family, I'm sure. No, he's probably foxing a little bit this morning, but We'll wait and see.
We want to see that show.
We do want to see that show, and he is the Australian record holder.
Because if he turns it on, we know that the others are going to try and go with him, and we're going to have a great 100-metre race here. In lane 0, Jackson Grovers from Phoenix. In lane 1, Haruki Nakanishi from Nunawading, a visitor. In lane 2, Ewan Smith from Fairbank. In lane number 3, Callum Halrahan Lavelle from Nunawading. In lane 4, William Layton from the University of Queensland, our fastest from this morning's heats. Lane 5, Lucas Hemenick from Logan Vikings. And then there he is, Matty Temple in lane 6 from Marion. Look out for him. Samuel Harriman in lane 7 from Southport. Sam Kenny, a visitor from New Zealand Club, in lane 8. And from TSS Aquatic, the 18-year-old Kalani Grek in lane number 9. It's the final of the men's 100-metre butterfly. Standard so far tonight has been pretty spectacular. We are expecting that to continue right here. Matt Temple, out of lane 6. Current title holder, current Australian record holder. Needs to turn it around for this one. And away they go. All three in the middle got off pretty well, and it is Temple who got out first. Half a body length in front as he touches and turns now after 25 metres. Right up there with him is Humanick in 5, and now William Layton in 4, also inside of him. Halrahan Lavelle also up there in 2nd and 3rd place at the moment, but it's Temple turns in 23.20.
Yeah, that's a really fast time from Matt, so he's going to look to build on that now. But the rest of the field not too far behind. Everyone's putting in a really good effort this race. But Matt's turns and underwaters are something else. He'd be one of the best in the world, so we are watching someone special here.
We certainly are. It is Matty Temple in lane 6 getting out there. Coming home hard is Halrahan Lavelle in lane number 3. He might take 2nd, but it's Temple who takes the win. Halrahan Lavelle 2nd and Humanick in 3rd place of 49.83. Faster than his swim last year for the Australian title, which is a 50.04.
And he's looking good there. He's got the chops on, got a bit of chest hair, Matty boy. So he's done really well there. Bit more left in the tank potentially.
Great swim. Here he is, Matty Temple out in lane 6.
Putting on a clinic really. Look at that stroke. He sits nice and high on top of the water, which is exactly what you want to see with your butterfly. The hips are coming out. Not much water on the back. It's really, really solid technique. Technically perfect.
We were a little bit concerned that he qualified 4th fastest, but there was no need to be.
No, not at all.
There's the results. Official, Matty Temple, 49.83, our winner. Lavelle Halrahan in 2nd place, Humanick in 3rd place. It's been pretty amazing for Matty Temple, and he's down at pool deck to have a chat to Matt Walsh. Take it away, Matt.
I'm down here with Matt. I have to say, Matt Temple, we were really looking forward to seeing you swim, but that looks so controlled. You definitely got some more speed in you. Got about a 2nd in that mustache for a start.
Oh, maybe. No, I'm pretty happy with that. It was pretty hard this morning getting up to race, but to go into the 50 point, yeah, I guess it's pretty good at this time of the year.
So good to see you back in Victoria, and you spent a bit of time with one of the local clubs, Camberwell, the other day. It was good to sort of get back to the grassroots and have a bit of a chat with the up-and-comers.
Yeah, it's unreal to give back. I did that clinic with Oz Harvest and Camberwell, so a few Aussies are finding it very tough at the minute, so it was great to raise some money, and every $2 towards Oz Harvest makes 4 meals, so I was pretty happy to earn some profits for Oz Harvest, and yeah.
Awesome, mate. Well, you're an absolute champion. Beautifully timed and paced swim tonight, and really showed your class.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much.
Well done, Matty. Well done, Matty. Down there, Matt with the interview, and Matt with the swim. Matt Temple, a big win for him. And will he have anything else in the meet?
Sure, he's doing some of the freestyle events,
Yeah.
200 metre butterfly, I think. 50 fly as well, bit of power. So we'll see him again. He's a good man, raising some money there for the Oz Harvest. People doing it tough. But we are moving to the B final of the men's 100 metre butterfly now.
Yeah, we
and
certainly are.
not much separating these guys from this morning. 54.2 was the fastest qualifier. The outside lanes are 55.0. So expect a tight race.
Yeah, but basically just under a second between all of them.
We see there Janelle Pallister, the new head coach of Surrey Park down here in Victoria. Just looking on, seeing the action, got one of her swimmers in this event, in the B final.
General Siva Teresa in lane number 6 from Surrey Park.
So hopefully the first thing she did was go out and bought herself a jacket, coming from obviously from Brisbane.
Yes, she wouldn't have owned too many, that's for sure. B final, men's 100 metre butterfly. Stand by.
Take your marks.
Got them away beautifully from the start. Good reaction times there. You can see on the screen. Dreyer probably the quickest off the mark. But as they turn, our leaders are going to be out in lane 3, it is. And that is Connor Burgess, who takes an early lead ahead of lane 4, Cameron Bladen.
The 16-year-old Burgess getting some open racing experience and doing a great job of it as well. That underwater there off the 50-metre wall. But here comes Bladen in lane 4, making a late move. It's all about the skills here, as Burgess was a little bit long on that turn. Bladen might get him in the underwater here, but you could throw a blanket over this field.
Oh, they would have seen the dominant swim from Matt Temple early. They got out hard and they've held on as they touch the wall. Bladen gets there first at a 53.54. Second home Dreyer, 53.91. And third was actually Billman down in lane 8, 54.00. So very quick swims there. About half a second separating the top 3 in the B final. And a great opportunity there for the swimmers to have a night swim, get another chance to better their personal best time, and they did just that.
So the racing continues here at MSAC. We've had some pretty good racing so far. We've had some tight finishes. We've had a couple of blowouts by some really good swimmers. Cameron Bladen in a tight finish there with Caleb Dreyer. 0.37 of a second between the two of them. Elo Billman then not too far away in third place.
Well, next event up will be the event we've discussed a little bit already today, the women's 200 metres breaststroke, and unfortunately the reason is that we'll be missing the title holder and the fastest swimmer, technically from this morning. Had a bit of a wobble on the block, got disqualified, did Tara Kinder. She won't be in the final 4 tonight, but the top 10 official times from this morning, walking out onto pool deck. Emily Smith, fastest qualifier, lane 4 with a 2:25, and joined right next to her Hansen and King with almost matching 2:27.9 swim. So it's going to be a tight battle now, and the opportunity is open.
Amelia Downey in 0 from Southport. Riddell Smith in lane 1 from Nunawading. Maeve McKenna from Phoenix in lane number 2. Charlotte Hansen from Logan Vikings in 3. Emily Smith from Rocky City in 4. Tilly King from Bond in lane number 5. Alana Torrance from Nunawading in lane 6. Emily Daunt from Marion in lane number 7. Tamsin Walo from Southport in lane number 8. And from Sunshine Coast Grammar, Isabella Vander Bouy.
Yeah, this will be a really tight battle. Looking at those times from this morning, first 3 Emily Smith, as I said before, but the next 3, 2, 3 and 4, separated by less than a 1/10 of a second over 200 metres. So this is going to come down to pacing. It's going to come down to who wants to get to that wall and who can get to that wall on a full stroke.
200 metre breaststroke final.
Take your marks.
Away in swimming, and it is the quickest reaction time out there in lane number 1 to Amelia Downey. She's up and looking good, actually, as they make their way to the 25-metre mark. Lane 4 also doing well, and Emily Smith.
Yeah, not surprisingly, not a lot between the field at this early stage. We knew that Tara Kinder wasn't in there, so it really be a matter of who wants to make the most of it. And Smith up in lane 1 wants to have a crack. She touches second. Emily Smith, Smith from Smith, first and second through at that 50-metre mark. But it's this middle 100 that is really going to separate the field, and Emily now just starting to try and push herself away from the rest.
So Emily Smith now touches in front and turns. She's half a body length out here in lane number 7. Emily Daunt also up there with them as well. Back on the inside of Smith is Hansen. She may have moved into second place, definitely third. King there with her as well. They turn 100 down.
Looks to be really smooth so far. The stroke of Smith out in front. Really holding the water well and starting to make a move now. So here it is. Who's going to take this opportunity to become an Australian champion? These meets are so good for the younger athletes to come and test their skills and get a bit of confidence and know that they can do it at the top level.
Emily Smith holds the lead. Rudell Smith in 1. Still up there in the chance for second and third. Charlotte Hansen also swimming well out in lane 5. Tilly King as well. So it looks like it's Smith from King, and in third place Hansen. They've pushed out ahead of the rest of the field now. Emily Smith, can she hold on?
Oh, King really coming home. She really tried to make a move in that third 50. She made up a lot of ground, but Smith just had so much distance on her. It's going to come down a lot closer than Emily Smith, I think, would like. Tilly King now really making the most. Coming down, going stroke for stroke with 10 metres to go. It's going to come down to the stretch onto the wall. Also looking good is Lana Torrance out in lane 6, but Smith gets there by, what's the margin? 0.14 of a second. So very tight there onto the wall. Smith from King. Torrance gets in for third.
Resisted the option of taking an extra stroke and just glided into the wall beautifully.
Yeah, got to stretch out for that wall to get your fingertips on. And the girls did a great job pushing it all the way to the end. We anticipated a tight battle, but 200 metres separated by about 1/10 of a second is pretty much as tight as it gets.
Good win there to Emily Smith.
Fantastic from the girls there. You know, they're young as well, 17 and 20 years old. So that's extremely good racing.
It was interesting to see King there. Sorry, Alex. It was interesting King there. She touched the ball, didn't even look at the board. I think she knew. She could almost see her at the side. It's like, I can't quite get there. So frustrated.
Emily Smith from Tully King in that race. We go into the B final now for the women's 200-metre breaststroke. Fastest time from the next best in the B final here is Eliza Damien with a 1:32.78, 3 seconds faster than Madison Stibbe in 3 and Riley Cardow in lane number 5. As they push out for the first 25, and our leader will be out there in lane number 4, Eliza Damien.
They've all got off well here. It's very tight early on. No one really trying to make their move early. Everyone just biding their time.
Casey Lampert out in lane number 1 doing well too there, Alex.
Yeah, Lacey looking good in that outside lane. She does touch first on 34.05. But as you said, no one really making their mark quite yet in this race. But you really want to do that. This is a B final. This is what this race is about. It's an opportunity to get up and go. And Camprad in lane 1 has thought, all right, guys, if you're not going to, I'm going to give it a crack. And she is going to lead them through at the 100-metre mark. In fact, right next to her, she's dragging through Tyler Patterson out in lane 0.
Yeah, it's really good race practice, swimming in these B finals, getting to come back at night, testing yourself again. Maybe something didn't go quite right in the morning and you've had a yarn with your coach and they've asked you to fix a couple of things up. But it is Camprad pushing the pace early on from that outside lane. But here come the middle lanes as well. Lane 4 and 5. It's Damien and Cardo coming through.
And Patterson in 0 as well, is pretty much 4 across until these two in the middle get up, and they now take the lead. Cardo in 5, Eliza Damien in 4, and Tyler Patterson still holding on out there in lane 0.
With 50 metres to go, I dare anyone to make a bold prediction on this one. There is less than half a second separating the first half dozen swimmers in this race. So it is very, very strong. Looking good, though, is our fastest qualifying lane 4, Damien, but Cardo is just not letting her go.
Zandy Chua also out here in lane 7, coming home nicely as well. Damien in front, half a body length from Cardo, right next to her. Swimming hard is Chua out in 7, looking to try and get herself into second place as least. It's Damien in 4. Chua, Cardo finding it out for second. Also Homer in the middle there as well. Cardo takes second, Damien the win. And Nanaka Homer in lane 6 from Southport taking third place with a last stroke lunge.
Well, it shows how important that pacing is. That early leader, Camprad, just couldn't quite hold on. Ended up 6 seconds back in 9th position, but 1, 2, 3, 4 all swimming next to each other in the middle of the pool and pushed themselves to that fast time. So B final swum, and Damien was the victor.
Yeah, it's interesting when swimmers try to go out as hard as they possibly can, and maybe the back end goes out the door, or you say, oh, I'll worry about it later on. It doesn't usually work, going out as hard as you can, and I'm reminded of a 100-metre freestyle race at a Barcelona World Championships where a Russian Vlad Morozov went out in a 21 to the feet.
Wow.
And came back in a 26 and faded.
That makes sense, yeah. But still not a bad swim. But look, you've got to give it to them. You can't criticise it too much.
No,
you know,
it's
actually, I'd rather that than someone go out far too easy, and you're never going to come back fast enough to make up that ground. So
absolutely
did the right thing, learned a lot from that experience, and maybe the pace was right. It was the energy used to get herself there. And so we'll work on that efficiency so she can come home faster at the end. But we move now into the 100 metres breaststroke, men's open 100 breaststroke. And James McKechnie, fastest qualifier through 30-year-old from Starplex. Just 3 swimmers this morning getting under the 1 minute mark. And that Australian record held by Joshua Yong, a 56.62. That's what they'll all be pushing to.
Our swimmers have been introduced to the crowd here at MSAC. James McKechnie, 59.48 in lane 4. Jackson Abaya in lane 3 of 59.91. And Sang-Jae Cho from Korea at 59.98. The only 3 swimmers under the minute mark from this morning's heats. I'm tipping that might change in the next minute or so.
Take your marks.
In they go. There's the reaction times, and getting out of the water in front out there in lane 4 is James McKechnie. There's a few around him out in lane number 6. William Petrick also getting a great start. But McKechnie, our leader at the moment.
He's going out strong, Jimmy. He's a 50 specialist in the breaststroke. He went to the Commonwealth Games in 2018 for that 50 metres breaststroke, James McKechnie. And he's looking powerful, strong underwaters, and he's making his move now.
Oh, he sits so high in the water, drives himself forward, his hips up right on the surface as he pushes in and stretches out for the final turn in this 100 metres breaststroke. He's had a pretty dominant first 25, but coming right next to him is Cho. Cho is really pushing hard, doubled the stroke rate, and if anything has probably just pushed past McKechnie. So under the wall, it is Cho, a 58.65, plays a 59.25 for McKechnie. Third home, Will Petrick. So the St. Peters boys take home second and third. And like you said, Tone, only 3 of them getting under this morning, but 5 this morning, 5 tonight getting underneath that minute mark. And Lachlan Chan almost there with a 1:00.05. So quite a dominant last 25.
Great swing by Song Jae Cho from Korea, a 58.65. James McKechnie second, William Petrick in third place. They are our medalists in the men's 100-metre breaststroke. Big final.
He definitely didn't look like he overswam the first 75. It wasn't like he fatigued or anything like that. He swam that very, very well. That was just a ridiculous last 25. Sort of where did that come from? From our winner. From
Zach Stubbleby-Cook-esque, that one.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
What he does in his 200.
In the 200 in that last 50.
It was sort of like that little doll that used to be able to wind up and put it in the bath and his arms just go at 100 miles an hour. He really flew home. B final. Men's 100-metre breaststroke.
Take your marks.
Away they go. Reaction times on the screen for you there as they make their way up and out in lane number 5. It is Matthew Loeffler who holds an early lead, not much so, and there's plenty around who are contending. Out there in lane number 1 also is Jonathan Nam. He's up there as well. We'll get times after the first 50, which will give us a better indication. Jordan, that is Cameron Jordan out in 7, our early leader.
Geez, this is another race where you can't separate the field. And who's going to put their hand up and say they want it? Maybe lane 7, Cameron Jordan.
Yeah, he looked like he was first to the wall at that 75, but what a final turn from Higgs in lane 6. He absolutely killed them all, got a body length in one turn. I think he set himself up beautifully for that with a long glide into the wall, but still to the wall first, just over the minute mark, 1:00.17. And Jordan, that mid-leader, 1:00.96, getting him under 1:01. Third home was Buckland, 1:01.06. So pretty tight in the end there, but it was all won by that final turn and split stroke from Sam Higgs.
Sam Higgs from Cameron Jordan and Ethan Buckland, our top 3. Not much between them, just under a second between first and third. Tight finish.
So we now look to the next event on the program, the women's multiclass 200 metres freestyle, and we saw a huge swim this morning from Taylor Corrie. I saw her earlier in the cool-down pool, or actually just after her swim this morning, and she looked great. She was so happy. I said, you know, great swim, and she said, oh yeah, still going, still doing well, you know, still back here. I said, well, you know, you're swimming so well, you have to be. So she's still enjoying things as she always does in a very brightly coloured swim top there in the middle of the pool as they walk out onto pool deck.
Of course, she was a London Paralympian, Tyler Corrie, one of the stars of the 2024 Short Course Nationals. 4 gold medals and 3 silver medals last year. She'll be looking to do pretty much the same here if she can. Molly Griffin in lane 0, Chloe McAuliffe in 1, Danica Biddle in 2, Avea Dennis in 3, Taylor Corrie in 4 from Puruna Swim Club, Samantha Pratt in 5. From Geelong, the 15-year-old Evie Lee in lane number 6. Out in lane number 7 from Warragul, Tara Jensen. In lane number 8 from Mingara, Elia Curry, and in lane number 9 from South Gippsland Bass, Gemma Cook. They are our finalists for the women's multi-class 200-metre freestyle. Once again, we will call them over the line first, second and third, but that does not necessarily mean that they are our medal winners. All are in different classes, and their times will go away and be assessed to a point system. Highest points will get the gold, silver and bronze. And out in lane number 4, Tyler Corrie. Swam a great heat this morning. Can she get herself close to world record pace?
Yeah, looking very strong there early. Not overworking the legs. Nice long strokes. As we mentioned, racked up that 900-point swim this morning. So we won't know until she finishes how close she's going to get. But what we can do is cheer her on throughout the whole race and push her to the line.
Out underneath the 30-second mark, 29.8. Curry turned at the 50, and now at the 75 still enjoys a strong lead over Dennis next to her and Samantha Pratt in lane 5. Samantha Pratt backing up from that 400 earlier on, so had a bit of time to have a cool down in the indoor pool. Hopefully a little bit warmer in there for the swimmers. But Taylor Corrie there, 104.03. Trying to remember the time she swam this morning. I want to say it was 103, so potentially a tiny bit faster this morning. But maybe she can bring it home a little bit better tonight. So she's managed herself quite well over this first 4 or 5 laps in this 8-lap race.
125 down, 75 to go, or even less now as Tyler Corrie looks to make her way back. 2 laps left after this, and Corrie going well in lane 4. Good fight for second and third out in lanes 3. Avea Dennis and Samantha Pratt in lane 5. Tyler Corrie leading the way.
Maybe burnt her legs a little bit early at the start of this race, looking to fatigue a touch. But we can get her to the wall. One final turn. Lane 5, Samantha Pratt moving through the field nicely, a really evenly paced race. But let's get her to the wall, ladies and gentlemen.
Sam Pratt coming home nice and quick, but I don't think she's going to get there. It is Tyler Corrie in lane 4 who just gets home in a 2:18.62. It's a second slower than her time from this morning. Pratt in second place.
Yeah, she did well, Taylor. She paced herself pretty well, just outside the time she did this morning, as you said, Tony, but still a dominant swim. Comes away with 711 points, 716 for Pratt, so just pipped at the post. That S10 versus S14 classification, but still got 4 swimmers to come through for this 200 metres freestyle on the outside lanes. 3 to go now as McAuliffe touches the wall in a 2:52.38, and Curry in a 3:05.18 gets in at 8th place onto the wall. So we wait for Griffith and Cook to come through in our outside lanes, but Taylor Corrie and Sam Pratt first 2 to the wall, and 2 of the highest point scores along with Curry out in lane 8.
Gemma Cook coming in now, watching the time. Just over from this morning, but an absolutely fantastic effort. To do 2 of those races in the one day can take a lot out of you. You must have a little bit of nerves coming back in the night time as well. So learning to manage those. Different environment. A little bit of cold weather coming through Melbourne. So a fantastic effort to back up after this morning.
Majority of our swimmers in the 300-point mark, but the 3 that stood out, Tyler Corrie, 7:11. She'll finish second to Sam Pratt, who takes the win with 7:16, and then also our S6 swimmer there in Elia Curry, with 645 points in 3rd place.
Just did a quick Google because Jack Ireland looks so good this morning.
Yep.
And the world record is 1:51.55, and he owns it.
Okay.
So it is his PB. So we could be on world record watch if he's in PB form. Hopefully he is.
1:54.7 from this morning.
So a little bit off, but he looked comfortable.
We've seen enough people knock 3 seconds off their time from this morning today.
Yeah, that's it.
So he's every chance. So Jack Ireland, that's where our focus will be out in lane 4 from the University of Queensland. In lane 0, Kelvin Tran from the Oasis Otters. Lockie Ballion in lane 1 from Turalgan. Ming Zi Pang from Camberwell Grammar in lane 2. James Logan from Melbourne in lane 3. Out in lane number 4 from the University of Queensland, the 26-year-old world record holder, Jack Ireland. From lane 5 from the Friends Club is Riley Sue. Lane 6 from Melton, Benjamin Wills. In lane 7 from Nightcliff, Sean Deutsch. In lane 8 from Yarra Plenty, Cooper Harrington. And out in lane number 9 from Good Life, Tyann Holt.
Well, they've had some great swims tonight. We hope you're enjoying the coverage here on 9 Now, and the Wide World of Sports team bringing you all of this action from the pool, wherever you're watching around Australia. If my kids are watching, it's bedtime, go to sleep.
Fat chance. 151, the world record held by Jack Ireland. That's what we're looking for.
Take your marks.
Here in this. In they go, and it is Jack Ireland getting out fast and furious straight from the start. It's Ireland from Sue.
And we saw this from Jack Ireland this morning, didn't we, Tony? He really took it out hard, and he's doing that exactly the same tonight.
The thing was, this morning we thought he took it out too hard and may fade, but he didn't, so we know he can consistently swim at a pace.
I'll just see him around a 54 split to set himself up if he's going to have a fair crack at that world record, which is the 151.55 that he did a couple of years ago. And he's giving it a red hot go. He's looking good. Elbows look high. Stroke looks strong. He's got that kick flowing behind him. It's all going to be about this turn to set himself up for the back half of this race.
He got the 54.19 on the turn. So he's given himself every chance. And a massive margin between himself and Sue now in second place.
This third 50 is where the legs really start to hurt, and you've got to stay on it. You've got to push hard. The last 50 is fine because you know you're almost there, but this is the tricky one. He's done a great job as he comes down to turn at the 150 metre mark, and he touches in a 123.21, so he's not far off the mark. It looks like he'll swim a 153, a little bit faster than this morning's swim, but how much can he push this last 50?
Has he got enough in him to try and get it down to the 151 mark? We'll find out as he turns and makes his way back for the final 25 metres. It is Jack Ireland, convincing winner this morning in the heats, and a convincing winner here in the final of the 200 metre freestyle multiclass, a 152.8. Boy, oh boy.
Well, he brought it home fast, didn't he? Very fast.
Well, if a 154.7 gave him over 920 points this morning.
986 points he gets from that.
So 152.08 has to get him pretty close.
That is only 14 points off that 1,000-point mark. That is the highest point score we've seen so far in these championships. So quite remarkable there from Jack Ireland. Second home was Sue, 709 points he got in the end, 205.11. And third point score looks to be paying 571, 214.44, getting home for the bronze.
The margin in points was as big as the margin in the pool.
Yeah, it was exceptionally quick, especially that last 50. He really came home strong.
Well, he's in good form, Jack Ireland.
Yeah, looked really strong there. We love a 200 free. That was well executed. Wonder what his tactics would have been leading into that. It looked like he took it out pretty hard, holding on through that second 50. Might have just eased off a little bit in the start of that third 50, but gee whiz, he brought it home.
If you've just joined us, 1,000 points is the world record. So 986 isn't too far off it. A fantastic swim by Jack Ireland. We've got so much more to come. Women's 50 metre freestyle. This will be splash and dash all the way. Coming up next, right here on Wide World of Sports. amazing, beautiful pictures of Melbourne bring us back to the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre for the 2025 Australian Short Course Championships. Hope you're enjoying the coverage here on Wide World of Sports at 9 now. Continue with a fair bit more racing to go tonight. And then we're here for the next 2 days as well. Heats in the morning, kicking off at around about 10 o'clock, I should say, in the morning. And then our final starting at 6 o'clock tomorrow and Friday as well. The NGV Gallery there, one of the arts precincts of Melbourne. One of the sports precincts of Melbourne is right here at Albert Park, which is where the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre sits. Basketball courts, badminton, the Albert Park, the Australian Grand Prix, of course, in this area as well. Lakeside Park, the athletics over there as well.
Yes, there's plenty of sporting fields here, and it's an absolute hive of activity on the weekends. A sporting event, major sporting event almost every weekend, and we're very fortunate to be hosting the Australian Short Course Championships here this year. As the swimmers are preparing themselves, we can see Alana Torrance there, had a great swim just earlier tonight, and getting herself ready for the 100 IM. Next event up though is the women's 50 freestyle, and Lucy Dring with that fastest swim from this morning got her into that lane 4, went a 24.86. Just 3 girls, the top 3, getting under the 25-second mark. Again, we might see a few more tonight. The Australian record holder, or the title holder rather, Emma McKeon, and Australian record holder 23.04, Emma McKeon. So very quick time from the champion swimmer, and these swimmers will be trying to get as close as they can to that.
Claudia Feidler in 0, Chloe Douglas Byrne in 1, Samira Olawanini in 2, Mizuki Hirai in 3, Lucy Dring in 4, Sienna Walo in 5, Mackenzie Burns in lane number 6, Steph McCarthy from St. Peter's Western in 7, Frankie Somerville out in lane number 8, and that leaves us with just one swimmer, Lily Young in lane number 9. Lucy Dring, as Matt said, 24.86, our fastest time from this morning. But Sienna Walo in a 24.91 and a 24.99 for Mizuki Hirai in lane number 3.
Take your marks.
Away in swimming in our 50-metre freestyle. Splash and dash, white water everywhere. And out in lane number 3. Harari is our leader from Japan. Coming up right next to her in lane number 4 now is Dring. Walo also there in 5. It's lane 3 at the moment. Harari, who looks like she'll touch first. She does. Walo came in for 2nd and Dring in 3rd place.
Look at that, 24.84, 24.85, 24.87, and that is a tight finish.
Yeah, that was quite remarkable, and really one I felt on the off the wall and the breakout. Really just pushed herself ahead, did Harai, Japanese visitor, 24.84, just a hundredth of a second in front of Walo. Dring, our fastest qualifier from this morning, held on for 3rd. And those 3, still the only 3 underneath that 25-second mark.
0.03 of a second separating the top 3. That is an amazing finish.
That's why we got the touch pads.
I'm happy I called the winner.
Yeah, it was a tight one, but a very good finish from the girls to just get onto that wall under 25-second mark as the B final now up and ready to race for the women's 50 freestyle.
Take your marks.
And away they go. We have an empty lane out there in lane number 4. It's Eva Potts who'll be missing the race. So head down to complete the first 25. Our leader out there in lane number 5 at the moment, Lilani Jones. Emily Draper up there with her, and out here in lane number 8, Casey Curtis also putting in some big ones as well. Curtis out in 8, takes it. Jones in lane number 5, second. And Eloise Sheldrick taking the 3rd place.
That was a quick time too, 25.1, and that would have given her probably 4th, 5th, 6th, something or other in the final. So pretty quick time there by Curtis, especially in that outside lane, lane 8. But get a lane and you've got a chance. That's exactly what she did. Results there for the B final. And the boys' turn is next in this very quick 50 metres freestyle. The world record, 19.90. Can you believe it? Someone actually cracked the 20-second mark in the 50 free short course. Jordan Crooks famously broke that late last year from the Cayman Islands, 19.90.
Did it in the heats as well. If you haven't watched it, got to go check it out on YouTube. It's a pretty special thing to be the first man under 20.
And I think the only one for a while too. It's going to take a while for someone to better that.
Yeah.
Jiwan Yoon from Korea in lane 0. Fred Hassel from Kent Town in lane 1. Ashley Nichols from Terrell in 2. Kai Taylor in lane 3 from St. Peter's Western. Yukan Jai, a visitor from Korea, in lane number 4. Caulfield's James Ward in lane number 5. Lachlan Jacket Simpson from Propulsion in lane 6. From Nunawading out in lane number 7, Callum Halrahan Lavelle. Lane number 8, Westside Christchurch, Xavier Collins. And in lane number 9 from Melbourne, Felix Dressel de Bruin.
So interestingly, at these championships, the gold medal will obviously be decided by first to the wall, but they're also handing out age medals. So the top 3 age group swimmers, so under 18 basically, will also get a medal. So if you win the race and you're under 18, you potentially could get 2 medals.
Here you go.
First to the wall and age group medal as well.
Well, there's a couple who are there, so let's keep an eye on them. But right in the middle now,
your marks.
it'll be Yukan Jai, the fastest time at 21.33 from this morning. In they go. And it is Jai out fast, half a length in front early from James Ward up there as well. Kai Taylor swimming nice in lane number 3. Out of the water they come now, and it's still Jai in front. Ward trying hard to get him down, so is Taylor, but it's Jai who's going to take the win. Ward and Taylor will give it to Ward, takes second, Taylor third. But a good swim by Jai, 21.08, betters his time from this morning.
Yeah, that was swift. And straight off the start, up at 15 metres. Just really utilising that underwater and the short course turns. And he looks very strong, it looked fast. He got his feet over on the wall very quickly, but a ripping race for second and third there as well, with James Ward being the first Australian home there in 21.68. And the Australian national champion, Kai Taylor, at 21.79, very close.
Yeah, that was a quick race, and you don't often see a race as tight as that, someone winning by over half a second. That was dominant. First 25 was blistering, but second was even more so. Really pushed away, a body length lead almost towards the end. Quite incredible.
Dressel de Bruin, 18-year-old, in 4th place.
Yeah, strong swim there from Felix.
So that gives him the age medal, does it?
That will most likely, give him the age medal.
B final coming up for the men's 50 freestyle. Maximilian Pine in lane 4. Fastest time for the morning at 22.58, but there were a few right around that.
Take your marks.
So this will be a close race. In they go. Pine in 4, out first. But look at this, there's about 6 or 7 of them right across. Try and pick a winner there. Pine looks like he might have an early lead, just ahead of Leighton. Humanik on his inside also, going fast. It might be still Pine. Humanik now in 3, Pine out in 4, and maybe Pine takes it, he does. A 22.49 from McKechnie and Coates.
Oh, great swim there from Max Pine, son of Adam Pine and Sasha, who are great swimmers in their own mark. And dare I say it, Second and third, 6-7. Elaine 6-7 got there, McKechnie and Coates. So another fast swim in the 50 freestyle in the B final. And we're just getting quicker and quicker. This the sprint program really was just about the 50 freestyle for a long time now that the 50 has been brought into the Olympics. And the 50 form strokes in that Olympic program have been brought into the national program, into the short course program, and they're getting more and more traction, and we're finding swimmers finding that extra time, getting quicker and quicker.
This is the one Matt loves.
Oh, the 100 IM.
100 metre IM. He is a national winner at this.
And
how hard is it to get proficient in all 4 strokes?
In the 100, you don't have to be that proficient in all of them. You just got to be dominant. You got to be strong, dynamic in all of it. In and out of those walls really hard. And this is going to be a really tight battle. We had 3 of the girls, in fact 4 of the girls, on a 101 time this morning. We had our visitor from Norway Club, Vert Monig, at a 101.4. Izzy Boyd from Nunawading, 101.0. Alana Torrance also from Nunawading, 101.4. And Emma Doherty from Bonn, 101.71. So less than a second separating the top 3, but all of them done a different way. We'll see the dominance of the breaststroke from Alana Torrance. Isabella Boyd will get out fast in the butterfly and bring it home hard in the freestyle. But don't count out Britney Castelluzo out in lane 2 as well. 24-year-old Soma 102.60, but she's a very dynamic swimmer. And as we know, Alex, anything can happen in this short course format, especially in 100 IM.
Yeah, exactly right. We saw Isabella Boyd have a ripping breaststroke to freestyle turn this morning and get her hand on the wall first. I'm wondering if that's going to happen again tonight, but you're right about Brit Castelluzo. Great butterfly, great freestyler.
Take your marks.
Chances in this race. The women's 100 metre individual medley, 25 metres of each stroke, and they start off with the butterfly. Should see Isabella Boyd go to an early lead in 4. She turns, probably in second place at the moment. I reckon it might have been Alana Torrance who was up there with her as they turn into backstroke now. And it's out here in lane number 6. Emma Doherty, who's doing well. Castelluzo though, 27.71, turned first, Boyd second.
That was a great underwater by Castelluzo. She put some distance on them. Probably not typically a breaststroke swimmer either, so if she can nail this turn and get those underwaters firing for that freestyle leg, but this is anyone's race at the moment.
Castelluzo out there in lane number 2, doing a fantastic job as she powers away. She did through the breaststroke, and now she makes it up again in the freestyle. And a great win there for Britney Castelluzo. Isabella Boyd and Emma Doherty second and third, but that was a dominant swim in the last 2 legs.
It was, and that's a very tidy time under the 60-second mark there. So we can see last year's title holder was a 59 as well. So very strong swim there from Brit Castelluzo.
It was anyone's race after 50, and then Castelluzo heading into the breaststroke just started to power away. She had a small lead at the end of 75, and then freestyle leg said goodbye. Solid win there for Britney Castelluzo. Isabella Boyd second, Emma Doherty in third place. That is the final of the women's 100 metre individual medley. The men's coming up next. And just about to head down to Matt, who has the winner of the women's 100 metre IM, Britney Castelluzo, with him. Matt.
I am down here with Britt. What a swim. I got to say, out of everything though, that back to breast turn, you killed him. That was amazing.
Yeah, I was a bit stressed about that. Obviously, it's an area you can get DQ'd, so just really focusing on finishing on my back and coming off my front. But yeah, I was a bit stressed about that.
Yeah, not known for the breaststroke, but getting up that strong lead. How do you feel, now at this point in training and leading into that race? A good way to start off the campaign for this competition.
Yeah, 100 AM is a really fun, fast race, and obviously you can't do it long course, so doing it short course is just a bit of fun, yeah.
Oh, it was a great swim to watch. What have you got left in the program?
We got 200 free tomorrow, so that might hurt a little bit after just that race then. So, yeah, 200 free, 100 fly, 200 AM later, so yeah.
Oh, very good. We look forward to seeing you in that. Go and cool down, get ready for the 200, and best of luck tomorrow.
Thanks so much. Cheers.
If you're going to swim one race, you might as well swim 4.
Yeah, why not?
Yep, you're here.
Especially when you're doing the IM, you're so versatile. You just take your pick of the bunch, whatever
Especially
you want.
when you're in a bit of form too.
Exactly right. Bit of speed going on here.
Castelluzo.
Castelluzo.
Thank you. We're into the B final now, and it is set to go. Our fastest time, Madison Stibbe in lane number 4.
Yeah, not much splitting this race either.
No.
So
Take your marks.
Close one.
Second, splitting the 10 from their heats this morning as they come out of the water. And out here in lane number 6, Hunter led Britain. Got out nicely. Touches and turns, first 25 done. They make their way into backstroke now. And it's still Laird Britain in the backstroke, ahead of Eva Vaccaro in lane number 7.
As we saw Britney Castelluzo do in that A final off this wall, that was the difference maker. Can anyone do it in this B final? Looks to be pretty hard to call at the moment. Maybe Vaccaro got a fingernail in front, but Laird Britain not going away just yet.
Yeah, Vaccaro just looking across, potentially part of her breathing pattern, but looking like she's checking out what the opposition are doing as she breathes to her left now and getting a fair bit of competition from Laird Britain. I think Laird Britain will get there. It's going to be tight onto the wall though. She does just by about half a second in front of Vaccaro, so really well paced in that B final of the 100 individual medley. Dingwall home for 3rd, and Downey in the middle of the pool coming home in 4th place.
There's our results from our B final. Hunter led Britain in 1st place from Southport. Eva Vaccaro and Alinta Dingwall taking out 2nd and 3rd in the B final. Men's IM coming up next as we head towards the end of the night with our multi-class 50-metre backstroke, men's and women's, and then our 400-metre freestyle relays, men's and women, coming up as well to finish it off.
Yeah, it's been a great night of action so far, but don't go anywhere. Plenty more to come, especially this 100 IM. These boys will absolutely rip it up. Not a lot separating them this morning, about just over a second, in fact, less than a second and a half separating our fastest qualifier, Felix Dressel de Bruin, in the middle of the pool to Lenny Grigor out in lane 9. So not a lot between them, and as we've seen constantly in these individual medley races, as the sword comes out in these individual medley races, some of them will get it in the butterfly, some in the back, some in the breast, and some will save the best till last in the freestyle. So it'll come from everywhere, but it'll be a dynamic swim regardless.
As we talk about some swimmers who have had a fair bit today, Felix Dressel de Bruin's probably had about 5 or 6 swims as well, hasn't
Well, he does have a brother. So you've seen Dressel de Bruin a couple of times there. And so that's where it is. But no, he has. He's a pretty dynamic swimmer, Felix.
He's out in lane 4, fastest time of 55.26. Bailey Cren, a 55.30. Those times this morning. Men's 100-metre individual medley. Butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle is the order. 25 metres of each as they head into the pool for the first 25. And out here in lane number 8, Ryan Woodward looking pretty good. Also back in lane 3, Ewan Smith getting an early touch as they head into backstroke. Lane number 4, I think our leader is, though, Felix Drizzle de Bruin.
Lane 2 looking strong as well. Kane Martin really coming home in that backstroke. 24.81, underneath 25 seconds. Smith followed by Dressel de Bruin onto the wall. And Woodward on the other side of the pool in lane 8 touched 4th. So it will between those middle lanes. Smith still looking really strong. Ewan Smith in the lane 3 with a very strong breaststroke. Up late in the freestyle. He's breathing to the right side. You can see Dressel de Bruin, but here Felix is coming home hard. Can he hold him off? It's a dead heat. 54.49. Can he hold him off? No, but he still gets to the wall. Equal first. So 54.49. Wow, what a swim.
Felix is pretty happy with that one.
Yeah, isn't he?
As you should be, national champion.
So dead heat for first, and Bailey Cregan in for third, 55.20. So individual medley not letting us down, always entertaining to watch, and all the way down to the last fingernail finish.
So you're telling me we don't have a swim off for first?
No, they paper, scissors, rock out the back for that one, so it'll be fine.
Great swim by those two swimmers. As we get into the B final. And Kakuru Zeno from Ivanhoe in lane 4 with a 56.62. Matthew Magnuson in 5 of 56.94.
Take your marks.
In this B final, under 57 this morning. In they go. 25 of each, and it's out here in lane number 6. Cameron Bladen takes the early lead. Back in lane number 2 also, William Jeffrey up there with him as they go to the backstroke.
Fantastic underwater there from Cameron Bladen.
Yeah.
Really working those turn skills. See if he can do it again here from the back to breast leg. Could be the difference in this race.
It might have been William Jeffrey that got the better of that, because he's right up there now with Bladen.
Gave himself a chance with that long underwater in the backstroke. You've got to be strong at all disciplines. And Zeno in the middle of the pool looking pretty strong in lane 4. And now with about 10 metres to swim, it does look like it will be lane 4, but he's not going to have it all his own way. He gets there just with a 56.34. Cameron Bladen really brought it home hard in that freestyle leg. So the back and the freestyle for Cameron Bladen is strengths. The 56.64.3 of a second separating the top 2. And third home. In fact, in the middle there I missed dead heat.
Dead heat for second.
Dead heat for second. We had a dead heat for first in the A final, dead heat for second in the B final. So Symmetries from Surrey Park tying there with Bladen. So we usually see those dead heats in the 50, but that's almost what the 100 IM is. It's 25 of each stroke as we saw, but it almost turns into one of those sort of 50 get to the wall first races. And speaking of which, we've got a couple now in our multi-class, final multi-class events for tonight before we move into the club relays. So the women's 50 backstroke followed by the men's multi-class 50 backstroke. And finally, the swimmers will get a rest after this one because they've been up almost in every single competition. Taylor Corrie is back, Nolene Ponta, Naga Higashi is there from the Japan Club, our visitor, Emily Steiner, Jasmine Fulgrove.
Madeline Fox there in 0 as well. She's had a few.
Gemma Selick as well from Moringa, 15 years of age, and Amelia Steiner, 14. And Ponto, 14 as well. So a big array of ages from 14 up to 30.
Good to see the swimmers out there having some fun as well. That's what it's all about.
Yep, 100%.
Although it's late at night, it's their 4th race, they could just be delusional.
I think we're all getting there,
Definitely past a few people's bedtime. I can tell you, but it's a great reason to be up and watching sport. Proud and passionate of our sport in Australia, especially in Victoria. And we'll be cheering these girls on.
50-metre backstroke, around about 30 or so seconds. We'll see the length of this race. Nolene Pinto, 30.81 this morning.
Take your marks.
Fastest time, 14 years of age. She is. And away and swimming in the 50 backstroke. Multi-class for the women. And out in lane number 4. She just got up just before the 15 metres. Nolene Ponto took every centimetre that was available to her.
Oh, that was nothing compared to some races we've seen earlier tonight, so that was well and truly legal. But really set herself up for a strong time as she comes down to the wall. She reaches back for a 30.32. Nice. Naga Agashi with a 31.20, almost below that 30-second mark it was Ponto. And Taylor Corrie in lane 3, getting third to the wall, 33.53. So great way to finish off the campaign for those girls as we wait for our final swimmers to come in to the wall. And they do. 52.69 for Curry, Pritchard 53.60 and 54.0 for Fox up in lane 0. But it will be Ponton first to the wall. Top score, though, looks to be an 893 there from Taylor Corrie. So we saw her with a blistering time this morning, 32.58 for tonight. Looks like she will come home with the gold for the multi-class event. So confirmation of times now on your screen, and Taylor Corrie from Fulgrave and Gemma Selleck in third.
Pretty close there in the end on points. All in the 800s, the top 3, so very, very solid turnout.
Yeah,
that might have been the one we were talking about this morning, the 800. Maybe Taylor Corrie went 900 in the 50 this morning.
Points, yes. Was thinking the same as we move now to the men's 50 backstroke. And Greatorex in lane 4, our fastest qualifier for tonight's final. Logan right next to him, Dylan Logan, 15, S15, 22-year-old from Albany Creek, and 26-year-old Sam Greatorex. Nathan Maxwell, 21-year-old from Good Life. Those 3 underneath the 30-second mark. So that's where we're going to be looking for action of first to the wall. And we'll be looking for that point score. Ahmed Kelly in lane 8, our Paralympian.
Love David Bale just getting into the old...
The John Cena.
The Sellies. Pre-race Sellies. At 52 years old, it's great to see him getting amongst it.
You can't see me, the old John Cena.
They got the rave music playing here at MSAC. It's going off. And it shows. The lads are fired up for this 50 back. Splash and dash. I don't know how many opportunities they get to race the 50s in the multi-class, especially in the form strokes. So it's an exciting event.
And a big wave there from Ahmed Kelly in lane 8. He'll be jumping in. He won't have a backstroke ledge, and you can see there the cord, if you like, the belt wrapped around the block for him to hold on to. Quite an inspirational story from all of our swimmers in the multi-class, but especially Ahmed Kelly.
Him kicking an AFL ball is very special.
Yep. Men's multi-class, 50-metre backstroke.
Take your marks.
And away they go. Lane 4, Samuel Greatorex. Out early with him, though, Nathan Maxwell in lane 3. And out lane number 5, Dylan Logan, also up there as well, our top 3. You can see the wind just absolutely belting the flags.
Might be getting a bit of a helping hand here from Mother Nature. Down the final straight. 27-29. Greatorex taking the win there.
And 801 points as well for it.
Yeah, very strong swim. So we wait for our final swimmers to come in, and Bale comes in, David Bale out in lane 1 as Ahmed Kelly now with 5 metres to swim, powering onto the wall, looking good actually. Touches the wall with a 55.01, so much quicker than this morning. He'll be happy with that, and comes away with almost 600 points, does Ahmed Kelly. But as you said, Gotorek's 801 points will take home the line honours in our final of our individual events for tonight. Now it's time for the pool deck to be absolutely sorted with as many swimmers. It's going to be very chaotic with so many swimmers up. We see the results there for the 50 back multi-class, our final individual swim. And Gotorek's there with that 801 points. Logan 665 and Ahmed Kelly 599. Swinburne just out of the placings there, 548. As we can see the swimmers getting ready. So we hope you're enjoying the action here from the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. We'll be back very, very soon, so don't go anywhere here on 9 Now and 9's Wide World of Sports.
Welcome back to the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre with pictures of the National Gallery of Victoria, NGV, one of the many museums, and the Museum of Modern Art also around there as well here in Melbourne. We're into our final 2 events, the women's 4x100 metre freestyle relay, and we'll finish off with the men's 4x400 metre freestyle relay as well. It's the one-time final for the women. They'll be making their way out shortly. The teams competing: Surrey Park, Nunawading with 2 A and B teams, Southport, Melbourne and Melton.
So six teams, technically 5 clubs, 6 teams,
yep.
As we go through. But I can tell you this will be a very hard-fought battle. There is a lot of pride on the line. Surrey Park, Nunawading, Melbourne and Melton, all local teams. Southport, the odd one out. So the Melbourne teams will be trying hard to push them out of the points, but I'm sure they'll have a very strong swim. So Ahmed Kelly there with his coach, Alex Hirschauer, having a bit of a look on at the action here at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre as the crowd are waiting for their final swims. We see there Nick Viliardes from Nunawading and Simon Bequire, a previous Australian representative in 200 back at the Commonwealth Games. He's now General Manager of Nunawading Club.
You were talking about Southport there, correct me if I'm wrong, but they are using the Commonwealth Games pool as their training base. A fantastic facility.
Yeah, the Southport pool used for our national championships when we go to Gold Coast and lots of competition. In fact, we had the Pampac championships there a few years ago as well. So, yeah, well utilised pool and great facility, especially for these big races. As we see the girls coming out for the relays, Kira Jeffs there leading the Nunawading team out in lane 3. So Nunawading B.
Yeah. Club pride on the line here, inter-club pride, bragging rights. They should have mixed it up. Hopefully they did. So it's quite even, really.
Yeah, mix up the relays, the two Nunawadings, yes. I think they have, just looking at them, they've definitely got some strong swimmers in both.
So Surrey Park in lane 2, Nunawading B in lane 3, Nunawading A in 4, Southport in 5, and Melton in 7. The Melbourne team, unfortunately, are not taking part in lane 6.
Take your marks.
Away in swimming in the women's 4x100 metre freestyle. And out in lane number 5 is Southport Sienna Wallow with the early lead after 25 metres. Abby Kearney from Nunawading A next to her.
They're looking good early, Southport. Bit of different tactics in the relay races. Usually you lead off your fastest swimmer first. I think we're seeing that. But as we know in the men's 4x1, Kyle Chalmers just swims over the top of everyone at the back end. So a few different tactics you can take. Where do you put certain swimmers? Some swimmers are really good off a relay start, which gives them an advantage, can drop more seconds off their PB. Some are more confident straight off the blocks. And we're seeing that here from Sienna Wallow from Southport, getting her team out to an early lead here.
Yeah, the benefit of getting your fastest swimmer out first. You get into that clear water, and especially with the dives, there's a few more waves to swim through, and that can be an advantage. But it's always good to have an ace up your sleeve if you've got someone to come home. So having your best swimmers first and last is a huge advantage. So just holding off Nunawading A now is Laird Britton. Alana Torrance there in lane 4. Not much in it though, about half a second separating them as Alana is trying to push back and get that lead taken away from Southport.
This is going to be a good finish. Close now. Let's hope it stays close. Laird Britton for Southport, just in front.
Well, it's getting closer and closer.
It's a great leg from Alana Torrance.
Yeah, got the lead back. In fact, by the end, just over 0.1 of a second. Great swim there from Torrance, from Nunawading. And now Olawini is got it all to play for to keep that lead from Southport and hopefully hand that over to her final swimmer. So it looks like it'll be Isabella Boyd, who is no slouch herself. So Nunawading A really pushing on this advantage now in this third leg of the women's 4x100 freestyle relay.
Here they come. Great turn, great final turn there by Olawini. Handing off to Isabella Boyd with a pretty strong lead. Southport's has Amelia Downey jumping in for their team. The gap may be a little bit too big here. But she can just make up a little bit of ground and maybe get on that wash.
Yeah, 3-second lead. That's exactly what Isabella Boyd would want. And Downey with a lot of work to do. Boyd looking strong with 50 metres to go. Doesn't look like she's relinquished any of that lead given to her. 50 to go, 3:12.50. If anything, has stretched that 3-second lead out to about a 4.5-second lead. So very strong swim here from Nunawading A. And they'll be looking to get a good points haul and another medal in the trophy cabinet.
Yeah, this is very strong swim by Isabella Boyd. to bring home her team, and they will be the national champions for the short course event. Southport finishing strong with Amelia Downey touching the wall in second, and it's going to be the Nunawading B team in third place. So a great effort from the squad from Nunawading, as a team from Melton finishes off their race as well. So fantastic effort there from all teams. Hard thing to do at the end of the night after you've had a few races.
I hope they brought the marshmallows. They can toast them on the heater.
Might be more beneficial to go and jump in the spa, I think, rather than stand on pool deck.
Don't tell them that. They're having a nice little campfire moment.
Singing Kumbaya.
Yes, this is what memories are made as we finish up the female races for this night one, first night of swimming action. And some of the swimmers watching on their fellow competitors. And we go into the final event for tonight, the men's 4x100 freestyle relay. 2 heats of this. Yarra Plenty, M1, Randwick City, University of Queensland Propulsion, and another University of Queensland B, all competing in this first heat, and a full token of swimmers in the second. So we'll compare the times from the first heat with the second to determine our final winners, but it's going to be tight battle regardless.
Good to see M1 out there. That was my first ever swimming squad as a youngster. Swam from about the age of 7 to 10. Did a few sessions here and there. Nothing too serious, but you always got to start somewhere.
You certainly do. Yarra Plenty out of 2. M1 out of 3. Randwick City out of 4. University of Queensland from 5. Propulsion 6. University of Queensland B team out of 7. First swimmers up and set to go. Men's 4x100 metre relay. In they go, and a great start out in lane number 5 to University of Queensland.
Yeah, that's William Layton, who swam the 100 metre butterfly earlier in the night. Had a strong showing there, so he's obviously leading off the relay to try and get that time, because as you know, in a relay, when you lead off, that is an official time. We saw Michael Klim famously break the world record at the 2000 Olympic Games in the 4x1. So this time will count towards their PB.
And gee whiz, I tell you what, William Layton is going to hand it off to Jack Ireland as the second swimmer for University of Queensland.
Man, it's in good form. Almost broke his own world record. That's a great time from Layton under the 50-second barrier. It's always a great mark to get under. Jack Ireland in the water for his squad, the University of Queensland.
This is their A team. Oliver Salmon from Propulsion in there as well, the B team for University of Queensland. Charlie Sewell out in lane number 7. He's probably in second place at the moment. Back in lane number 4, Randwick City of Cooper Blacklock and Karen Fernandez, M1 in lane 3.
Well, these boys would have been waiting all night, some of them backing up from previous swims, but waiting for this relay swim. It's a great opportunity to swim with your teammates, swim with the people you train with every single day, and get together to compete against other teams from around Victoria, around Australia here at the Australian Shortcourse Championships. One more heat to go, so these boys will be racing not only those in the water now, but those in the next heat. And that is why the University of Queensland is pushing so hard. They've got the win almost wrapped up in this heat, but they've still got another 10 competitors in the next heat to push ahead of.
John Cornwell in the pool for University of Queensland A in lane 5.
Yeah,
It looks to be Eamon Jeffs as well for his team, throwing down a very good leg. Looking very strong there. It's all University of Queensland at this stage. Looking to post that time, try and beat the next heat, and that's all based off their seed time, what their total combination time is. So the faster they go now, the more opportunity they get to put themselves in medal contention.
Corbin Zahn, bringing them home for this final leg with 50 metres to go. Turns under 3 minute mark, which is a strong swim. Flynn Jackson, second through for the Randwick City team, and third through for Propulsion. Now with 15 metres to swim in this first heat of 2 of the men's 4x100 metre freestyle relay. He comes down to touch in a 3:24.06, so we'll keep a note of that time. Compare that with the next heat to determine our placings. 3:28.63, second home for Randwick City, and Propulsion 3:34.67. So strong swim there from the first heat. As the boys high five, fist pump, and congratulate each other for a good campaign in that 4x100. And great to see Jack Ireland jumping up with his teammates. So dominant in the racing in the multi-class, and able to match it with the best in the able body as well.
We saw Josh Alford there as well in the University of Queensland B team. So, like you said, a really good opportunity to train with your teammates. Able-bodied, multi-class.
So the 3 fastest times set there by University of Queensland, Randwick, and also Propulsion. First, second, third.
So only one more event to go. The final heat now of the men's 4x100 freestyle relay as they come out onto pool deck. Looks like all 9 lanes, so all 10 swimmers up to lane 9. All 10 lanes will be filled, so this is going to be interesting. So the great way to finish a big night of racing action here at the 2025 Australian Shortcourse Championships.
It has been a big night, gentlemen. What have been your highlights from the evening?
I'm gonna put out Matt Temple's 100 butterfly, not for anything other than just how well he swum it. It didn't overswim it. He just, the stroke count was bang on, the stroke length was bang on, hit every wall, and really showed his class in that race.
Yeah, mine was a 53, a little bit biased. I love the freestyle races, but watching the Korean swimmer there, Yushang Ji, pop up at the 15-metre mark and just absolutely nail his turn. You love to see it. Showcase the skills of the short course racing.
Jack Ireland, for me, dominant today. Nearly broke a world record, not too far off it.
See everyone enjoying themselves as well. That's what I love to see.
And Sam Short's 400 free, let's not forget, that was a big swim to start the night.
All right, let's have a look at these teams as they head into the water. We've got Melbourne in 0, Nunawading in 1, Propulsion in 2. That's Nunawading B, I should say, in 1, Propulsion in 2. Sydney University in 3. Sydney University A, Nunawading A in 4. Manly A in 5. Surrey Park in 6, Warringah in 7. MLC Aquatic in 8, and Melbourne B in lane number 9.
As I mentioned before, these times do count towards your PB, so off the gun, they're going for it. They might want to try and improve on their individual splits. They're out in lane 8 as well. Strong showing from the MLC team, Toby McCormish.
The individual 100 freestyle up tomorrow in the program, so these boys using this as a good opportunity to have a hit out, see where they're at in preparation for that. And Helen Lavelle touching under 50 seconds, 49.52. Great way to start his team off. Touches first. Real sharp now in the water for the second leg.
Colmish there also under 50 off the gun, so that is a great barrier to be under. So moving forward now, real sharp, trying to put some distance in. We've got a full pull, so it's going to get wavy. So you're going to have to focus on getting under that wash, getting your team in the front. But you can also jump on the lane rope next to you if you're close enough and potentially slingshot yourself forward, which is often seen at the international races. You'll see the teams move more towards the lane rope to try and get that advantage so they can go a little bit easier and save something for the way home.
Yeah, just riding that wave that's generated by that lead swimmer. But the pressure is on for the Nunawading A boys. The Nunawading A girls took it out in the previous race. And now onto our third swimmer. The boys from Nunawading are doing a great job. Liam Butner is bringing them home beautifully. Our final swimmer, Xander Coates for Nunawading A. He'll be loving this sight, seeing his teammates out in front. And they're going to hand over about a 2-second lead to him at this stage, just over a body length, maybe even 3. So great way to start the campaign in this 4x1 free relay.
Surrey Park working their way into third place, so it's Nunawading ahead of Sydney University, 1 and 2. Lane 5, Manly, Surrey Park also there. They're our top 4.
Yeah, great battle for the minor places here. Second, third, fourth. It's all Nunawading and Xander Coates putting in a really strong leg. He's a great sprint freestyler out of Victoria, so he knows what to do in these situations. But here comes Manly pushing up on the second place and even overtaking the Sydney team over there.
Oh, we can see Surrey Park moving right up on Manly's wash to try and get a bit of a helping hand to get up.
They're going to get to the minor places as well. This is going to be a fantastic finish. It's Nunawading at the top. Manly's moved their way into second.
That's a gold medal too for Nunawading, 3:18.19 under the 3:24.06.
Surrey Park made it in for third too, so what a way to finish. So Nunawading taking home gold for the women's 4x1 and the men's 4x1 freestyle relays. They'll be very happy with that outcome.
Now top 3 from that second heat will take out the medals.
3:24 from that first heat. University of Queensland sneaks them into 5th place. So that's a great effort too.
Great swim there by Nunawading, 3:18.19. Manly, a 3:20.62. And also up there in third place is Sydney University. Sorry, Park, I should say, with 3:21.83.
Just closed on them.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a big day of heats and finals here, day 1 of the 2025 Australian Short Course Championships. I look forward to you guys joining me again tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock for the start of our day 2 heats.
I'll set my alarm now and I look forward to seeing you then.
Thank you, Matt. Alex, we'll catch you then.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Matt.
And we look forward to catching you as well, 10 o'clock tomorrow, the second day of heats from the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre, right here on Nine's Wide World of Sports.